Batting fourth, the catcher, number 14, Luis Bernardo. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 3, Danny Berg. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 16, Dennis DeBanning. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 48, Lane Renaud. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 28, Jacob Underwood. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 2, Charlie Towers. And today's starting pitcher, number 12, Jason Wilbur.
We'll take the break. Lineups and first pitch coming up next on Baycats Radio. The anthems are complete here in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario. We welcome you to Baycats Radio as we get set for our first radio game of the season. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you. We'll get to Julius in just a moment, but first let's give you the starting lineups. They are on your screen for most of this game, but we'll also read them out to you right now. Carson Burns will lead things off for the Barrie Baycats, who are 2-2 under Josh Matlow so far this year. He'll play shortstop, then the second baseman, Royce Ando. The center fielder, Starlin Rodriguez. The designated hitter, Ryan Rio, bats fourth. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Adam Odd. Then Christian Kazemka, the right fielder. James Anderson, the left fielder. Tyler Plumpton, the catcher. And Owen Jansen, the shortstop. Evan Souls is on the mound for the Barrie Baycats. For the Hamilton Cardinals, they're 3-2 under Dean Castelli so far. Brian Rivera will lead things off. He's playing his first game of the season for the Cardinals. He's the second baseman. Then Clayton Keys, the center fielder. Tyler Duncan, the right fielder. Luis Bernardo, the catcher. Danny Berg, the left fielder. Dennis DeBanning, the DH. Then Lane Renaud, the third baseman. Jacob Underwood, the first baseman. And Charlie Towers, the shortstop. Jason Wilbur is on the hill for the Hamilton Cardinals. And Julius, it's just a beautiful day for baseball. And Jason Wilbur, Julius Hern. I got Jason and Julius mixed up there for a minute. Jason Wilbur taking the mound.
Yeah, Jason Wilbur, he's had one appearance so far this season. He had 5 innings pitched on May 21st against London, a 4-3 win. 3 earned runs allowed, 8 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts. It's a new start for Jason Wilbur. He played D2 ball at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I think this Hamilton team is much refreshed, especially after that big win on Thursday against these Barrie Baycats.
It is certainly a different atmosphere in Hamilton this season. Bernie Arbor Stadium, Carstar Field, last year it was not quite as active as this, not as many fans in the stands. They've got a lot more fans this season, and they've got a brand new game day experience, a new host, new uniforms, a new logo. We saw that in Barrie. and now we get to see it at home.
We pulled up to the ballpark today, and we were pleasantly surprised at how well this has been shaping up for the Hamilton Cardinals. Extremely happy for the direction that this franchise is going.
Just about underway in Hamilton. First pitch coming from Wilbur. It is in the strike zone to Carson Burns. 0-1. That's how we get started here. First pitch early today, 2:03. A couple minutes early. Like to see that. So it'll be Burns, then Roy Sando, and Starlin Rodriguez. That's foul to the left side. Baycats 4-2 dating back to the beginning of 2022 against the Cardinals. The Baycats are 2-1 in Hamilton against the Cards. They're also 2-1 at Vintage Throne Stadium. Cardinals hoping to even that up a little bit. They certainly did their best to in the first matchup of this season, where the Cardinals actually won in Vintage Throne Stadium, as Burns strikes out on a pitch right in the middle, and that's how this game gets started.
And I'll give you the defense for these Hamilton Cardinals. In left field, we have
in the first inning of your bats a chance to get going here.
You ready here?
Yep. All right. In left field, we have Danny Berg. In center field, we have Clayton Keys. In right field, we have Tyler Duncan. At third base, we have Lane Renault. At shortstop, Charlie Towers. Brian Rivera at second base. At first base, Jacob Underwood.
Roy Sando stands in now. And that's cut on and missed from Roy Sando. Ando's been having a great season so far, hitting .545. Entering his newest season with the Baycats, been here for a couple of years now, and the Baycats really expecting big things out of Royce. And I'm not sure we've seen his best yet. 0-2, and that's foul back to the screen. And we came into Hamilton, you're right, there's brand new paint everywhere. They really redid the game day experience. They have jerseys sold outside, food court, looks great.
Everything here just looks so vibrant. It's a great place to be on this beautiful day.
Lefty Wilbur with the glove up near the chest, kicks and comes home. And a big cut on and miss from Roy Sando. Second strikeout of the inning. He gets Burns, and then he gets Ando. 2 Ks, 2 out. So now Starlin Rodriguez will bat, and Starlin,
Stepping up to the plate, this center fielder.
what a homestand he had. He was red hot right from the beginning. Ended up hitting .333 with a .476 on base, and he has the only home run of the Baycats season so far.
Yeah, and that home run was absolutely crushed at Vintage Throne Stadium. Starlin Rodriguez really showing what he can do this season. Everyone's really excited that he came back.
Wilbur's pitch is up and away.
A little bit different to see Rodriguez in the 3 spot in the lineup. He's been hitting the 2 spot in the lineup the last few games.
Well, we've seen him in the 1st spot, the 2nd spot, and the 3rd spot. Baycats are expecting Noel McGarry-Doyle back with the team soon, so you'd expect he'd go back in the order. They tried Brad McQuinn, but he left with an injury in the last game. That's outside. Counting out 2-0. Today in Carstar Field at Bernie Arbor Stadium, it is Country Day. And we know our reporter for today, Kendra Doyle, is super into that. Are you a country music fan, as that's up and away 3-0?
I'm absolutely a country music fan. I actually saw Zach Brown Band last summer in concert in Toronto. And I have not been to Boots and Hearts yet. I have a lot of friends that love going there, but...
Cool. All right, we've got 2 country music fans in the booth. And that's just high, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Starlin Rodriguez, first base runner for the Baycats.
It was great to hear all the country tunes during the warm-ups. Everyone was getting really excited. Great warm-up music, country. Love to hear it.
So now here's Rio. And Ryan Rio he's been on fire. He started last season a little bit slow. That has not been the case this season. 8 hits already. He's hitting .400 with a .429 on base average. Big lefty hitter stands in against the lefty pitcher, so it's a tough matchup for the hitter. Wilbur looks at first. Now kicks and comes home. And that's fouled straight back to the screen. And we're pretty well protected here in the broadcast booth. It would have to go pretty high and to a pretty direct angle to get in here.
Yeah, much different from the screen behind home plate from Vintage Throne Stadium. This one much higher.
Yeah.
As the stands behind home plate are also much higher up.
We get a great view.
It's great being, seeing, you feel like you're right on top of the action up here.
Lefty ready on the mound. Glove by the waist. Now kicks and comes home, and that's up high. Count now 1-1. It'll be Rio and then Adam Ott, a couple of left-handed hitters against the lefty pitcher. 2 outs here in the inning. Count 1-1. It's still 0-0 here in the top of the first inning. Runner on first. Wilbur's looking at him right now, looking at home. Now looking at first again. Rodriguez has good speed. He goes, and that's fouled away. Rio hit it back into the left in foul territory, almost right above the Baycats dugout. Seeing the cowboy hats in the stands. Seeing 1, 2. Do you have a cowboy hat?
I did.
Past tense?
Past tense,
Okay.
yes. In the market for a new one, though.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Wilbur takes his time, now comes home, and that's hit to left field, and that is well out of play, foul off the pole there. The last foul ball had some height to it. That one was more of a line drive foul. A lot of foul territory here in Hamilton on both sides. Looking at the dimensions. 300 to left field, 405 to center field, 325 to right field.
Yeah, very similar to Vintage Throne Stadium, but like you said, much more foul territory.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And that hits him. Got him right in the back, and now, as Rodriguez was going to second base anyway, Rio will take first. 2 base runners in the first after the walk and the hit by pitch from Wilbur, and that'll bring up Adam Ott. First inning brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe County for over a decade. And out there on the hill after a 4-pitch walk and then a hit by pitch, Wilbur will be looking to find his command against this lefty hitter.
Yeah, that's really tough to have happen to you, especially with 2 outs. But most of this game is mental. I'm sure Wilbur has the strength to get himself out of this. But for the Baycats, this is a great sign to see that these guys are rallying.
In D2 NCAA, Wilbur was more of a reliever, but the Cardinals are hoping to get more length out of him than that. Comes in with that deceptive angle. And that's outside for the first pitch to Adam Ott. They say he went, and Ott does not like it at all. So 0-1. Ott needs a second. And I mentioned this a few days ago. As a baseball player, one of my favorite Mike Krukow quotes is, "You can get as mad as you want, and then you have to get over it."
Yeah, you're never going to have the call change if you're going to get upset like that. You just kind of got to get over it and step back in the box.
Runners on first and second, 2 out. Here's the 0-1 to Adam Ott. Big cut on and miss. 0-2. Even though there are 2 base runners, Wilbur started the inning strong. He struck out Carson Burns looking and then Ando swinging.
Okay, we're going to chase something outside here. We can do that again.
Just getting started here at Bernie Arbor Stadium. On what is an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball, I should add.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Perfect temperature, not too hot. Grounded foul just next to the Baycats dugout. I think that's the Baycats dugout. It might be the Cardinals dugout here.
Cardinals on the third base side,
Yeah.
Baycats on the first base side.
Same way it is in Barrie, but opposite to many other places when it comes to road and home.
Yeah, you typically see, at least I've typically seen, it's different in the majors, but so far we've seen that.
Actually, it is the opposite in Barrie because Barrie's on the first base side at home in Barrie.
That's correct, but you usually see the home team take the third base dugout.
Here's the 0-2. Still looking at the base runners. Rodriguez fakes, and now that gets away from Bernardo. A ball in the dirt. Count now 1-2.
That was his 20th pitch of the inning.
Jason Wilbur's 20th pitch of the inning. An inning that started so well for the Cardinals lefty. Cardinals wearing their black uniforms with the white pants. Baycats wearing their home navy blue uniforms.
Here comes the 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wilbur ready. Kicks, fires. Cut on a miss by Odd. Dropped by the catcher, but there's a runner at first, so it won't matter. And the Baycats have the side struck out. A couple of base runners, but nothing more. You're watching Baycats TV and listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. Welcome back to Baycats Radio. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you. And Julius, we're getting our second look at Evan Souls since that excellent start in relief the other day.
Yeah, this will be Evan Souls' third appearance of the season through 2 appearances of 9 1/3 innings pitched, including that absolutely incredible performance. 7 2/3 innings. 8 1/3 innings. And you won IBL Pitcher of the Week this week.
So the pitcher of the week ready and comes home, and Brian Rivera shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's a ball outside. Rivera we're seeing for the first time, and so are Cardinals fans. Cardinals made a roster move to activate Brian Rivera earlier this week, releasing Troy Banks as the corresponding move as he fouls that one off to the right side, 1-1. Banks, who had played for Brantford last year, did not have a ton of success with Hamilton over this season, so they decided to go with Rivera at the top of the order. Charlie Towers moves to the bottom of the order, and Tristan Osika moves to the bench as of right now. That's fouled right back. Tyler Plumpton runs over, but he's not going to have a play. Count now 1-2. Cardinals hoping to bounce back. Last game they lost against the Kitchener Panthers 12-3. But before that, they were on a real run. They'd scored 9 runs combined against the Majors and the Baycats, 2 of the league's toughest opponents for them. Hit to the right side, and it's caught by the first baseman, Owen Jansen, moving to his right. 1 out, and what a flashy out that was for Owen Jansen.
That was a great play by Jansen. This is our first look at him at first base this year. Tough play as a catches with his left hand, ranging to his right, had to reach over across his body. Very athletic play from Owen Jansen.
That's the first time I can remember Owen Jansen playing first base as a Baycat, going with a different defensive alignment today with Adam Ott at third base, Jansen at first. There's a first pitch strike to Clayton Keys. Keys was in that game at Vintage Throne Stadium. That's a ball, gets away from Plumpton, but he recovers it. Count now 1-1.
The only Cardinals really producing in that category so far.
Keys went 3 for 4 in the game against the Baycats on May 25th. So he stays in the 2 spot, as that's in there for a strike, 1-2. Also walked in that game, so he reached base 4 times.
2 strikes on Keys now.
The 1-2.
Pitch from Souls.
Big swing and a miss.
Down.
And Clayton Keys down on strikes. 2 out here in the first inning.
Souls coming into this game with 10 strikeouts over his 2 appearances. 9 of those coming in his previous appearance. We're going to give him IBL Pitcher of the Week.
And you have Tyler Duncan. Duncan did not have as successful a day against the Baycats the other day. He went 0 for 4. It was a hot and cold day for the Cardinals overall. They had a couple of really hot hitters, but they also had some cold performances. Thinking of Duncan and Lane Renaud.
Let's go Cardinals!
Chance of "Let's go Cardinals" from, I believe that's the super fan. Excuse me, he called himself earlier.
Yeah, and he's sporting a cowboy hat here today, too, on Country Day at Bernie Arbor Stadium.
He called himself the super fan when he came up to the booth, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Count now 1-1 to Tyler Duncan. Pitch from Souls, just inside, 2-1. Duncan, a lefty hitter against the right-handed Evan Souls. Souls wearing number 46, which he has done since he joined the Baycats in 2021. That's hit to right center field. It'll drop and split the outfielders. Rodriguez in center field, Kazemka in right. And that is the first hit for the Cardinals, with 2 out here in the first.
It's the second broken bat. That one absolutely shattered right in front of the plate. Also saw the line out from Rivera on a broken bat.
First-year catcher with the Cardinals, Luis Bernardo. Bernardo, one of 3 catchers on the team. It's him, Aiden Moyer, and Jacob Underwood. There's a strike. Upper outside quadrant. Count now 0-1.
Bernardo 1 for 3 in his last game against Kitchener on the 26th with an RBI.
Hamilton would go on to lose that game. Ground ball. Ando will make the catch off the throw from Carson Burns, who fielded it, and that will end the inning. After 1, no score. You're watching Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. Welcome back. Second inning, Christian Kazemka will stand in. Right-hander against the left-hander, Jason Wilbur. Second inning brought to you by Wingin' It Restaurants. The great taste of adventure. And he steps out. Kazemka has moved all around the batting order. We've seen him at the top, we've seen him in the middle, we've seen him at the bottom.
Yeah, he's kind of struggled a little bit to start this season. I think it's just, finding where his comfort zone is, especially in the lineup, like you said, finding what position he might hit best in, but he's getting consistent playing time, which is great.
One of the import players for the Baycats, coming from the United States, fouled away. First pitch he looked at in the middle of the zone, so that was a strike. Count now 0-2.
Hometown of Evansville, Illinois.
It'll be Kazemka, then James Anderson and Tyler Plumpton for the Baycats. No balls, 2 strikes. Wilbur began last inning by striking out the first 2 hitters. Ended it with another one, so he's already got 3 today. And that's low. 2-2. Over the Baycats' last 6 matchups with the Cardinals, they are 4-2. The biggest win for them happened on June 16th last year, where they won 11-4. And they played a year ago tomorrow on May 29th, 2022. Hamilton won that one 4-2. Kazemka stands in. Here's the 1-2. That's inside. Count evens at 2.
That one nearly hit him. Kazemka had to step back a little bit.
It's interesting. With 3 Ks already, you wouldn't really say command has been an issue, but there's been a 4-pitch walk and a hit by pitch already, and he almost hit him with another pitch, so it's kind of been back and forth.
Yeah, again, you're starting your outing, you want to really find, again, where your comfort zone is, like where you want to pitch off the rubber from, and then finding your chemistry with your catcher.
That's a foul ball straight back. Got Luis Bernardo in the helmet, so they'll give him an extra second to recover from that. You weren't a catcher, were you?
I caught a little bit.
It's not the least dangerous position on the field.
Absolutely not.
2-2. On the ground, shortstop Charlie Towers. It's going to get by him, though. Went down to field it, and it just went under his glove. It'll be ruled an infield hit. First hit for the Baycats, and it comes to lead off the second inning.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 34, James Anderson.
I may have caught a little bit, but I've never had
You never had
a foul ball go off
it in
my
a sensitive
helmet.
place?
No, I've had a couple of buddies that have, and they were missed some time for it.
So now here's James Anderson. Anderson hitting .273 on the season. Wilbur Wines delivers, and that's fouled away. Wines is a little inaccurate. He's pitching from the stretch right now.
And just chasing that one a little bit outside the zone.
So I'm using Wines as a generic term for the pitcher stretch. Guess that doesn't really work. I might have to retire that one for a little bit. No balls, 1 strike. Because you would think Wines refers to the wind-up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Pitching from the stretch from the get-go, as that's in there, 0-2. Excuse me. My throat was fine coming up to air, and now that we're on air, it is just a mess. I'm going to mute for a moment. Wow, okay. No balls, 2 strikes. Anderson, a really good, versatile player, both offensively and defensively for the Baycats. We've seen him in the corner outfield spots. A little bit of first base, a little bit of catcher. He's playing left field today. And that misses the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This club not short on catchers at all, the Baycats.
No, they've got 6 or 7 that can play catcher.
I believe so. I think 7.
I think the number might be 7, especially I think Kyle Maves can even play catcher, so.
I wouldn't doubt it. He's pretty versatile himself.
1 ball, 2 strikes. I might be wrong. I might have to ask Kyle about that. Wilbur comes home, and that is strike 3 called. Anderson gives a couple of words, asks if his zone's been like that for both sides, I guess. Gives a little nod to the umpire. Goes down looking 1 out.
Number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
Now here's the catcher, Tyler Plumpton. Plumpton, notable for not wearing batting gloves. Were you a batting gloves guy?
I was, and then I wasn't.
Ooh.
And then my final year, I wore batting gloves.
Is there a story behind that?
No, I think I just got uncomfortable without them my final year.
Plumpton was one of the team's most consistent hitters last year, was right near the top of the leaderboards for Baycats hitters in terms of hits. There's a strike 0-1. But the unique thing about them was that they were all singles.
Yeah, we saw him in left field yesterday. It was a little bit of a different position for Plumpton, but again, another guy that's pretty versatile.
He can play left a little bit.
Yeah, he was removed in the third inning for James Anderson, but
maybe still battling a little bit of soreness from his injury last week.
Possibly, but Matt was saying he was feeling good, and it was nice to see him in the lineup for a couple innings.
Back in there catching today, which would suggest he's closer to 100% than he was a couple of days ago.
He did have a single in his only at-bat yesterday.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jason Wilbur pitching well overall. Hoping for a double play in this situation. That's strike 2, right in the middle of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Defense playing straight up. You won't see too many overshifts in this league. There's no shift ban like there is in Major League Baseball, but teams just don't use the overshift too much. 1-2. Wilbur pauses, looks at the runner, now looks at home, kicks, throws. And that is hit to right field. Moving back into shallow right field is the second baseman, Brian Rivera, making a play in his Cardinals debut. 2 away.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 14, Owen Jansen.
Here's Jansen, just not used to hearing first baseman Owen Jansen.
No, but you saw his play in the first inning, ranging to his right, making a nice grab on the line drive by Rivera. But yeah, again, another versatile guy, but not used to seeing him at first base this season.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Rivera's pause. Very focused on the runners. Pitched it, it's inside, and it's jammed to right field, foul.
A little tough for a lefty, seeing that runner at first base during, at the start of your delivery. A little bit distracting, but it's also distracting for the runner knowing his back isn't turned to you. You really have to stay on your feet on the base pass.
4 lefties in the Baycats batting order today against the lefty pitcher. And you don't know how deep Wilbur will get into the game. Someone who has been primarily a reliever across his college career. That's too high, 1-1. I can't say enough about how much of a good job the Cardinals maintenance staff and grounds crew has done with this field over the offseason to prep for this year. The field looks great, and the whole stadium really looks stellar. They've done a great job. That's outside to Jansen, 2-1. And of course, happy to be in the media box here. Over next to us is the statistician. Over on the other side, you can see Jarrett Matthews, Neil Sriwastawa for the Cable 14 broadcast. Long hold for Jason Wilbur. And that's outside, ball 3.
Owen Jansen really taking his time here at this plate appearance.
Statistician today is Nathan Sager. Glad to have him with us as well.
Held it straight there. You probably would have got the call from the plate umpire. So the count now 3 balls and 1 strike on.
Here's the 3-1. Wilbur taking his time again through between pitches, and he fools Jansen there, and it's 3-2.
Plumpton will be off on the pitch here with a full count, 2 out.
The runner at first, Kazemka, has above average speed.
Excuse me, Kazemka.
Plumpton has below average speed.
Yes, he does.
They'd rather it.
Veteran catcher, that's as is expected.
I don't think he'll get offended if I say that about him.
No, and he would absolutely say that you're right.
3-2. Runner Kazemka goes, gets away from the catcher, and they call it strike 3. And that'll end the inning. A couple of strikeouts looking for Anderson, and then to Jansen. Plumpton popped out to second, and that will end the inning. Heading to the bottom of the second, it's still 0-0. You're watching Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
Fielder number 3, Danny Berg.
Danny Berg stands in 5-6-7 for the Cardinals this inning, facing off against Evan Souls, making his first appearance since being named Pitcher of the Week. What an honor for Evan. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you for Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. First pitch inside to Berg. On Saturday, June 10th at 4 p.m., it's Junior Baycats Day at Vintage Throne Stadium with the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, and Barrie 360. Family fun will be taken to a whole new level. That's granted to Carson Burns, throw on to first, and Jansen makes the play on the other end, one away.
Step up to the plate, the designated hitter, number 16, Dennis DeBanning.
Here's Dennis DeBanning.
Patrick, I'm curious to get your opinion on the all-blue uniforms for the Barrie Baycats.
I like them. I feel like the navy pants are new, as that one is a missed spot for Evan Souls that ends up over the head of Dennis DeBanning, who ducks out of the way. It's just a ball, 1-0. Kicks, throws. That's grounded. Right to Burns again. Throw over to first. Jansen makes the catch again. 6-3, 2 straight hitters, 2 straight outs. Yeah, they had the navy tops last year, but they had the road gray pants, right? So this year it's all navy blue. I like it.
Yeah, they were also up the gold trim a little bit on the navy blue uniforms last year.
Lane Renaud.
Here's Lane Renaud. He just had a miserable game at Vintage Throne Stadium a few days ago. Struck out a few times at the plate and had 2 errors in the field, so he's definitely got a bit of a chip on his shoulder for this game, trying to make up for that. First pitch to him is a strike, 0-1. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just want to do anything you can for your team to put them in a good spot.
Outside, ball 1, 1-1.
Like, any way you can get on base is a confidence booster for hitters in a struggle.
That's up and in. Souls missing a couple of times now, up and in. And Renaud ducks out of the way, count 2-1.
Souls looks like he might be releasing a little bit in his delivery. A lot of inside pitches to these right-handed hitters.
2-1. That's a great fastball in there. Strike 2.
1-2.
And if Souls can get that heater working, he'll be very effective today. Still scoreless here at Carstar Field at Bernie Arbor Stadium. That's up and away.
Got 3 balls and 1 strike.
No runners on. 2 away. Both Danny Berg and Dennis DeBannon grounded out to Carson Burns. And that is strike 3. Lane Reno down on strikes. So 1-2-3 inning. Here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We head to the 3rd. Julius Hern to call it for you. You're watching Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV. Welcome back. 3rd inning brought to you by Fatrim Aluminum and Siding. Quality above all else. And for the first time with the Barrie Baycats, I'm happy to present to you on the play-by-play mic, Julius Hern.
Thank you very much, Patrick. It's a beautiful day here in Hamilton as we see Carson Burns lead off this 3rd inning. The delivery from Wilbur. Just low for ball 1.
You ready? You hyped for your first time on the lead mic?
I'm hyped.
Good.
I love play-by-play.
We'll also hear from Kendra Doyle a little bit about these navy blue uniforms and what a couple of the players thought.
Fastball in their same spot. Now 2-0 to Burns.
Burns so far has a .556 on base average, so he's getting on base at a well above average rate.
And he's had a great start to this season. Down a little bit higher in there for a strike.
And that'll be a key factor into why Josh Matlow put him in the starting lineup in number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, anytime you can get on base to lead off a game or an inning just like this. Now went inside for ball 3. 3-1 now.
He's a guy that Baycats fans are used to seeing more toward the bottom of the order, but, you know, He's a good fit for the top of the order, especially he can return to that 2021 season form where he really had a breakout year with the bat.
That ball fouled off straight back on the left side. Now a full count to Burns.
You know an interesting fact about Carson Burns?
What's that?
One of the only Baycats that follows my Patrick M. Baycats account on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he wants all the inside scoop on Baycats TV.
I can respect that. Full count delivery from Wilbur. Swing and a miss. Burns goes down, 1 down.
Second K of the game for Burns. Interestingly, one was swinging, one was looking, so Wilbur's really got his stuff moving today.
Stepping up to the plate, the second baseman, number 7, Royce Ando.
Michigan State alum Royce Ando. Now stepping up with 1 out. Struck out his first time up.
Thing with Ando so far, you look at the average coming into today, 545, same as his on-base average. The slugging all the way up at 636.
That one off the glove of Bernardo for ball 1.
So he's really punishing mistakes from the pitchers.
Absolutely. Another guy who's had a great start to this season, hitting very well. Just a very consistent player.
And I think ideally Josh Matlow would love Ando to really fall solidly into that number 2 spot in the order.
On the ground, foul, just past third base.
This pitch is
Bernardo kind of motioned behind the hitter that time. Do you see that? He kind of moved his glove hand behind and gave a sign. Kind of interesting. Next pitch, by the way, will be his 50th, Jason Wilbur's.
50th pitch of the game through 2 1/3.
Well, we're taking a bit more time in between pitches this inning. Nice pitching from a full windup. 1-1 pitch.
1-2. Sorry, 1-1 is fouled off.
That one's fouled off on the right side into the bleachers.
I don't know Jason Wilbur personally, but I can tell you one thing. He would not be a happy adopter of the pitch clock.
No, absolutely not. He's working fairly quickly at a good pace in the first couple innings, and now taking a bit more time.
Now the 1-2 pitch from Wilbur. Look at the strikeout angle for the second time today.
The delivery from Wilbur, 1-2. And it's low and away. Now 2-2 to Ando.
Bernardo, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
With the runners empty and fewer than 2 outs, I almost wonder if you see Ando sneak a bunt in there, try and get on base, infield playing back.
He's definitely the kind of player to make a surprise attempt at one for sure. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ando goes down. 2 down. That's his second strikeout.
And it's Wilbur's 7th strikeout of the game already. This guy can paint the corners, go in, really, as long as his command is with him, which it has been really with the exception of a couple of at-bats in the first. He's going to be really successful in the IBL if he can get strikeout numbers at this rate against a team as good as the Baycats.
Starlin Rodriguez steps up again with 2 outs. Walked his last time up.
Really charged that here in the infield. For sure, we saw Rodriguez on the base pass, looking to steal. Got a few opportunities. Foul balls, had to bring him back, but now the one.
That went in there for strike 1 of the fastball.
And I'll tell you what, though, to get those strikeouts, you have to live in the zone. And living in the zone is dangerous with Starlin Rodriguez. He's a guy who punishes pitches that are 2 in the zone.
Starlin Rodriguez had a plethora of walks. Another motion there from Bernardo behind the batter.
It's so tough to pitch to Starlin because he's not going to swing at most things outside the zone, but if you go in the zone, he's going to punish you.
No, absolutely. That pitch low, 1-1 now to Rodriguez.
It's so tough to pitch to those guys where you feel like you have no options. You almost have to paint the corners and hope you get a call.
Yesterday it seemed like they were pitching around him a lot, the majors. Check swing, but it's in there for a strike anyway. Now 1-2.
It's 1-2.
Now Rodriguez taking advantage of an extra second by Wilbur walking off the mound. Everybody getting ready for the big pitch of this at-bat.
Wilbur with a very strong start to this game. See if he can close out this inning.
1-2, 2 out, nobody on. Wilbur kicks and fires. And on the ground to second base. And booted. And thrown wide of first base. Rodriguez on his way to second. And Underwood will hold and no throw as Rodriguez makes his way over to second base.
And that's got to be an E4.
That's going to be an error on the second baseman.
And a lesson to your color commentator to not write GO for ground out in big letters on the scorecard before the play is
Stepping up to the plate, the
done.
designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio.
Now Ryan Rio steps up with the runner in scoring position for the Baycats.
This part of the order is so tough. And it's tough without giving 2 free bases to Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez, there are 2 outs. He might be on the move just to see if he can test the arm of Bernardo behind the plate.
Well, in the first inning when he was on second base, he was kind of faking out the pitcher peripherally.
Well, Wilbur's been very focused between pitches on the base paths. Maybe a little too focused.
The ball 1 to Rio.
But he should be out of this inning after the 2 strikeouts, and he got a weak ground ball. But it was just misplayed at second base by Brian Rivera.
And Rodriguez didn't hit that ball hard at all.
Misplayed it and then threw it away.
1-0 pitch to Rio. That one also a bit low. Rio checked up his swing, didn't go around.
Umpires for today, it's Mackenzie Wright behind the plate. Mike Kinnear is at first base. Trevor Stoico at third. Mackenzie Wright, you'll see a good zone. It'll be mostly a consistent zone from Wright. Can get a little bit small at times, but usually not a guy who's going to get into too many arguments with the players.
A little bit of a mound visit there from catcher Bernardo. Rio stands in, ready for the 2-0. Wilbur pitching from the stretch. Rodriguez leads off second base. Swung on and missed. Rio, that's his first strike.
Not a big lead right now from Starlin. We'll see if he... Yeah, there's a few steps more now. He's taken about 7 or 8 steps.
That ball flown into the outfield and right field. Silent under it. Duncan makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. So Starlin Rodriguez left on second base. As the Cardinals get out of this third inning, you're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. Welcome back to Hamilton at the bottom of the third inning. Jacob Underwood to lead it off, and I have Kendra Doyle with me. You asked some of the players about the new Navy uniforms the Baycats are sporting this year.
Yeah, so earlier I was on the field with some of the guys, and one of them had asked me, in specific, Adam Odd asked me what I thought about the blue-on-blue Navy.
That ball lined to center field and caught by Rodriguez, one down.
I told him that I did like it, but I asked him what he thought of them, and there was a lot of opinions on a little baby blue that they wear for their practice jerseys. They would like to see some socks in that color with the navy blue. I thought it would be a good addition, but what do you think about it?
Well, I see some of the youth Baycats teams having a navy blue uniform, and they look pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Tower shows bunt there, takes a strike. Yeah, I think, you know, the design they have right now with the navy, if that was just navy or baby blue, I think that would be great.
I agree. I do like the baby blue. I think it's a good look. But
down the line in the right field in foul territory, a sliding catch by the right fielder Kazemka.
But the navy blue is sharp. I will give it to them. I do like those jerseys, but maybe some color with the baby blue would be a good addition as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely the team to have a great baby blue uniform, especially with this design. Thank you very much, Kendra.
No worries.
Two down for that sparkling play by Christian Kazemka in right field down the line.
What a play by Kazemka that was. Had to run all the way into foul territory. A really long way to go. Made a great catch.
Brian Rivera steps in with 2 out. That one high again. Now 2-0 to Rivera. Evan Souls steps off the rubber. It's working much more quickly than the opposing pitcher Wilbur.
It's not that hard to work more quickly than what Jason Wilbur has
Cut and
worked
miss.
with pace-wise.
Cut and a miss by Rivera now. 2-1.
And that's not necessarily a criticism of Wilbur. He's pitched well today, and some pitchers need a slower rhythm.
Now another called strike in the middle of the zone there for Souls. Now 2-2. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch from Souls. Far outside, now a full count.
Yeah, he missed his spot there. Setting up down, end up being farther away and farther down than Tyler Plumpton wanted behind the plate.
Full count pitch, foul back to the screen.
Cardinals hoping for big things out of Brian Rivera. Versatile infielder, top of the order, some speed there.
Another full count pitch to Rivera coming. That one fouled again off the screen, more towards the right side of the field.
Fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats. From jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear, Baycats Shop has it all. ShopBaycats.com or at ShopBaycats on Instagram.
Another full count pitch from Souls. Another foul tip. That one off the mask of Tyler Plumpton. And now Plumpton going out for a little bit of a mound visit for Evan Souls.
Okay, you said you caught a little bit, right?
I did catch a little bit.
Traditional catcher's mask or goalie style mask?
I never had any of my own catcher's gear, so I usually use whatever the team had. And I definitely preferred traditional style. Like being able to remove it on foul pop-ups and just much easier to put on, take off. I find the goalie style much clunkier.
Maybe needs a little more refining.
Full count pitch from Souls and a swing and a miss by Rivera to end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. They go to the fourth inning. You're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. Welcome back to Hamilton. It's the 4th inning as Adamad leads off. Jason Wilbur's still on the bump. Still no score between the Cardinals and Baycats. Adamad struck out to end the 1st inning, his last time up.
7 strikeouts to his credit this afternoon. As Adamad with the first batter here in the 4th inning.
Pitcher from the windup, Wilbur. That one far outside for ball 1.
4th inning brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal, bin rental, and junk removal services.
Both these pitchers actually doing quite well out there today. No runs in.
1-0 pitched. That one inside. Adamad had to get out of the way a little bit. Now 2-0. 2-0 pitch from Wilbur. That one in there for a called strike.
And that's a perfect pitch. Exactly where he wanted it. Great location. Froze on.
Lower inner part of the zone there.
Beautiful day to be at the ballpark.
Delivery. Another one, middle for Wilbur there. Now 2-2 on Adamad.
Cardinals welcoming a bunch of junior, I believe 11U junior Cardinals players to the ballpark today. They're kind of right next to that third base dugout.
On the ground, back to Wilbur. Takes his time on to first. And there's now 1 down. Adamad grounds out.
Odd now 0 for 2. And
stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number
looking for that first hot streak of the season. Hasn't come quite yet, but he does have his first hit and a walk and a couple of RBI.
Those junior Cardinals you mentioned, they got to run the bases a couple innings ago in between
they
innings. As right fielder Christian Kazemka stands in. Just made a sparkling play out in right field in bottom of the 3rd. That one high for ball 1.
Just got a bit of water, so I should sound a little less like I'm in the middle of a desert.
A called strike outside part of the plate on Kazemka. 1-1.
Superfan is loud.
Yes, he's very passionate. You can absolutely tell.
Loves his Cardinals.
Fouled off to the backstop. Now 1-2 on Kazemka. The 1-2 pitch on the way from Wilbur. Inside on Kazemka, now 2-2.
Let's go Cardinals! Let's go Cardinals! Let's go Cardinals!
Straightaway defensive alignment now for the Hamilton Cardinals.
That's had the result of creating a huge gap in the middle of where the shortstop and the second baseman are positioned.
That ball in the dirt, now full count on Kazemka. Nice pick there by the catcher, Bernardo.
What are you going to do with the country? Horse carriage comes running wild over you, baby. Woo!
I think that turned into a sentence at some point.
Like you said, Country Day here at the ballpark in Hamilton.
Is that what the country songs sound like these days?
Beats me. That one fouled above our booth. And it remains a full count on Christian Kazemka.
I always pictured the country music sounding less like that and more like the cowboy hats. Like you look at a cowboy hat and it has a sound to it.
Yeah, I could agree with that, absolutely.
Like you can almost hear the acoustic guitar.
On the ground to short. Nice pick there by the shortstop. A high throw, but the tag made by the first baseman Underwood. Now 2 down as Kazemka grounds out.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 44, James Anderson.
James Anderson steps in, the left fielder.
Usually you see the opposite here at Bernie Harvey. You get a couple soft bounces on the grass and it kicks up on the dirt. The opposite.
James Anderson will bat now with 2 away.
That ground ball by Kazemka, a tough play made really well by Towers. Looked like the ball might have skipped off the lip of the grass on the infield. But he managed to make the play anyway. That ball fouled out of play on the right side by Anderson. 0-1.
Day at the ballpark as well. 694.7. Day at the ballpark. Wearing the cowboy hat.
Wilbur set and delivers.
This is high.
That ball just below the zone. That looked like a good pitch. Now 1-1.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much. The zone's been consistent, but it has been a little bit small.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those pitches that look like they're right in the middle of the plate almost, but appeared just a little bit low by the call of the umpire. That one line into center field. And Anderson has his first hit of the game.
The Baycats have got a base
2 out.
2 away.
Good job of taking advantage of a pitch that caught just a little bit too much of the plate from Wilbur. Long at bat, he
Stepping up to the
fought.
plate, the catcher, number 44.
That ball looked middle in on the zone.
Yeah, it just got too much. With a pitch like that from the lefty pitcher, you're looking to go a little bit inside or a little bit outside. Either trying to jam him or trying to get him to chase. When it hits too much of the zone, it becomes a much easier ball to hit. And Anderson took advantage, got it right down the middle.
Middle or middle in is exactly what a hitter wants. His placement in the strike zone as Plumpton steps in. That ball, again, just low for ball 1.
You definitely notice between all the very skilled IBL teams, common theme is usually versatility in their players. A lot of guys can play all over.
Plumpton popped out to second his first time up in the second inning. Pitch from the stretch, Wilbur. That ball low in the dirt, and it skips over Bernardo. Anderson gets all the way to second and rounds. Heads back to the bag.
Anderson was off. He'll get the stolen base on that. It was going to be easily safe before the ball got by the catcher, Bernardo.
That's why it took such a large turn around the bag.
Yeah, if he had noticed that the ball got by Bernardo a little bit sooner, he probably could have taken third.
Yeah, as long as he didn't break stride, I'm sure he could have made the third absolutely. 2-0 to Tyler Plumpton with 2 out and a runner on second. Still no score. Pitch from Wilbur. And it hit Plumpton.
Second
just
hit
below
by
the knee
pitch of the game for Wilbur. It's been very strange. Either he's had pinpoint command, been able to do exactly what he wants with the ball, or he's had a little bit of wildness to his stuff. And it seems to come and go in a couple of hitters back-to-back. We saw a couple of strikeouts in the first, then a walk and a hit by pitch. Then really good stuff until the Anderson at-bat where he threw it right in the middle.
Correction, it looked like that ball hit Plumpton, but I guess it just went by him off the glove of Bernardo into the backstop. Anderson now at third.
Oh,
A 3-0 count now on
You're
Plumpton.
right.
It really looked like that ball
it
hit
did
him.
look like it hit him, but either way, it was not the location.
Either way, Anderson
that
moves up to
Wilbur wanted.
third.
He's not going to be able to get away with that very many times against a right-handed hitter.
3-0 to Plumpton, way outside, and Plumpton will make his way to first base anyway.
Okay, so my point stands. We're all good.
There you go. Now runners on the corners with 2 out, and
Stepping up to the plate,
Owen Jansen leading,
number 14,
stepping up to the
Owen
plate.
Jansen.
And that's where the command failed him in a couple of different ways. And that Anderson at bat, he was trying to go a little bit. I don't know where he was trying to go, whether he was trying to go inside or outside, but it hit right in the middle of the plate. And then that one, that walk, he was nowhere near the zone for a few of those pitches. So
very difficult to figure out his game plan on that at bat to Plumpton.
Well, another thing is this is going to be the third time through the order starting with the on-deck hitter, Carson Burns. So these hitters are going to have some recognition on Wilbur that they didn't have before.
Jansen struck out looking his first time up. The pitch just high on Jansen. Another pitch that looked good and over the plate. 1-0 now. One 1-0 pitch, just outside.
That's a great pitch, though. First off, it's a good place to miss. Secondly, it was exactly where the catcher had set up. Good pitch.
That's definitely the spot on the plate you can get a batter to chase. And those are the kind of pitches you can get a soft ground ball on. Now 2-0 to Owen Jansen.
Jansen's the 5th hitter of the inning.
Stretch delivery from Wilbur, and that one fouled off of the screen.
If there was no screen, or if it had gone through the hole in the screen, you would have had to make a play.
I'm ready. I don't have my glove, but I'm ready.
Well, it's pretty much exactly where that hole is. There's one hole in the screen. The rest of the screen is fine, but there's one hole. And if the ball goes through there, then Julius is going to have to make a play. And he's not a bring a glove to a ball game guy for whatever reason. You know, he's a former catcher. He's a little overconfident.
If I had a hat on, I could use my hat.
You don't have a hat on.
But I don't have a hat on.
You don't. Need to get a hat.
2-1 pitch to Jansen. Fouled off down the line on the left side, but out of play.
Jarrett's got a hat on. But Jarrett is nowhere near the hole in the screen, so that's not helpful for you.
I just gotta stay ready.
Yeah.
Think of me as the 10th man.
You're ready to go.
2-2, 2 out, runners on the corners.
Wilbur is one of the slower pitchers I can remember covering in the IBL.
Yeah, very delayed delivery. The pitch to Jansen. High for ball 3. Plumpton will be off on the pitch. Now with a full count and 2 outs. No hold on either of the runners.
You've got above average speed at third, especially for a catcher. Over at first, you've got below average speed. This will be the 86th pitch from Jason Wilbur. And now another delay. We're getting to the point where some of these pitches from Jason Wilbur, it's been a minute between them.
Yeah, Wilbur just stepped off. Not sure if he was indecisive about his pitch selection, but back on the rubber again, looking in on catcher Bernardo's signs.
Who are the slowest pitchers you can remember covering?
Mark Burley.
Yeah.
Remember when he was really slow? Actually, no, Mark Burley was fast.
Mark Burley was really fast.
That ball lined into right field, down the line, and that ball's going to get down into the fence. Anderson scores. Ball thrown in from right field. Rounding is Plumpton, and he will score standing up on a 2 RBI triple for Owen Jansen, and the Baycats take a 2-0 lead with 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
And that's why Owen Jansen was an all-star last year. Just took advantage of a little bit too much of the plate from Wilbur, laced it into right field, and that was hit so hard that even Plumpton could score all the way from first. What a job by Jansen. And he's just so comfortable in the bottom of the order. We see him at different spots in the order. He always seems to hit best when he's in that 9th spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And that ball was hit in the perfect spot for your triple. Us you Giants fans seeing triples alley out at Oracle Park, but you're right down the line in right field. That's a perfect spot for a triple. Because now there's a mound visit here.
And as Kite would say, Jansen's on the move! Jansen's on the move!
Well, we're going to stay in the game, but now some activity starting in the Hamilton bullpen. Runner on third, 2 out.
Now
The top of the order coming up with Carson Burns.
Carson Burns.
Third time through the order now, so like I mentioned, there is some familiarity with Wilbur now. These hitters have been up twice. They know what they're looking at. The thing is, though, for Wilbur, that he can focus on the top 2 spots in the order over 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Carson Burns now. There's a pair of strikeouts too, I think.
First pitch high on Carson Burns. Ball 1.
Kenzie Wright. Eager to make that strike caller. And that's 1-0 to Burns. Burns struck out third out. Ando. So there's 4 strikeouts in the top 6.
1-0 pitch. That went low and away. Almost in the dirt.
Wouldn't surprise me to see the Cardinals get someone up in the bullpen in a little bit.
Yeah, we see some guys moving around, but nobody's throwing just yet.
Wilbur, for most of this game, has alternated between missing with his command and just having lights out stuff. But the lights out stuff has diminished in this inning, and it has led to Barrie having a 2-0 lead.
2-0 pitch from Wilbur. That ball popped up on just behind the infield. Shortstop Towers is going to drop the ball in shallow left field. Jansen will score.
It'll be an unearned run because that'll be an E6 error on the shortstop, and the Baycats add one more.
Another run for the Baycats here in the 4th inning. Very costly play out in shallow left field by the shortstop Towers.
Stepping up to the plate, the second baseman, number 7, Royce Ando.
Chance for the left fielder to call him off and take him some. Towers are backpedaling out there to try to make that catch.
Second error of the game for the Hamilton Cardinals. It's been a problem for the Cardinals in these 2 games against the Baycats. Lane Renaud had a couple of errors in that game in Vintage Throne Stadium. Now 2 as a team for the Cardinals. They need to clean up that defense.
Royce Ando steps in, swings and misses at that first pitch. 0-1.
And that's the second time that Wilbur would have been out of an inning if not for an error.
Let's go, Cards!
Royce Ando struck out, swinging his last 2 times up in the first and third.
Can't take him lightly, though. 545 on base average coming into today.
Burns on the move, and the throw is in time. Burns gunned down at second by Bernardo, and that'll end the inning. The Baycats getting 3 runs on the board. You're listening to Baycats TV, Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. Back in Hamilton for the bottom of the fourth inning. As Clayton Keys steps in, Evan Souls still on the mound. Having a great outing again so far.
You compare the outings for Souls against Wilbur. We're at the third time through the order for Wilbur, but only the second time through the order with the number 2 hitter up for Souls.
Souls only allowing one base runner on a Tyler Duncan single in the first inning. Clayton Keys struck out swing in the first. Now a 1-1 count as that ball just on low and away part of the zone.
Action in the Cardinals bullpen, by the way, right now as a right-hander starts to get loose.
That ball hit him. Inside off the shoulder of Clayton Keys. That was a hard fastball too.
Yeah, he'll need a second.
Just walking around on the side of the field right by the Cardinals dugout.
Both the people next to me have binoculars to look into the bullpen. I feel left out. I just have my glasses, and they're permanently at a wrong angle because my eyes got used to the wrong angle.
Medical staff checking out Clayton Keys.
Yeah.
Looks like it went off his forearm. Keys is going to stay in the game as he makes his way to first base.
That's excellent news. That was a hard hit by pitch. Clayton Keys, a very good player for these Hamilton Cardinals.
Especially with all that velocity that Evan Souls shows with that fastball.
Yeah, he's got heat. And you would imagine Keys not at 100% right now, but he's got good speed at the top of the order. Still looking for who that pitcher in the bullpen is. He kind of sat down for a moment, so we'll have to wait. Had a look at maybe it was Alex Lanigan.
Tyler Duncan steps in. His first pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike one.
Fans, Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Vintage Throne Stadium this season with options for group tickets, corporate tickets, the Legends Lounge, and the Baseball Buddies program. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online.
Pickoff attempt to first base. In there easily is Keys. A little bit of action starting in the Barrie bullpen, but nobody in a full warm-up yet. Just a simple game of catch. Souls, another pickoff attempt to first, and similar result to the last one.
That's Chris Cox getting loose in the Baycats bullpen.
0-1 on Tyler Duncan. The pitch. That ball lined into center field and deep. Rodriguez in front of the warning track makes the catch, backing up. And back to first goes Keys. That was an extremely difficult play for Starlin Rodriguez, but he makes the catch.
That's why it's so important to have an excellent defensive center fielder out there. Saw it last year with Baycats with Jake Wilson. Seeing it this year with Starlin Rodriguez. Tracked it perfectly right off the bat. Did not overreact, did not underreact. Got under it and right near the fence made the perfect catch. Great job by Starlin Rodriguez.
He knew he had just enough room in front of that center field wall. So the catcher Bernardo steps in with one out and a runner on first. That ball was just low. Now a 1-0 count. That ball lined into left field. Running over is James Anderson, and he'll make the catch. And back to first again goes Clayton Keys.
Two hard hits, but two big outs right there. As this may be Souls' last inning of work today.
He did well over 100 pitches in his last outing, going 8 1/3.
Well, you always have to keep an eye on what the level of contact is off the bat as a pitcher gets deeper and deeper into an outing. Second time through the order, those last two hits were very hard hit off the bat. And as the stuff starts getting a little bit more a little bit diminished as he goes into the game. The hard hits will only get harder when you make misses, so that's why Chris Cox's up in the bullpen right now.
Another pickoff attempt to first, but Keys back in easily. That ball high for ball 1 to Danny Berg.
And we can confirm that the bullpen for the Cardinals is full with Alex Lanigan, the reliever, wearing number 38. Was originally number 4 for the Cardinals, but wearing number 38 now.
Danny Berg takes a strike, now 1-1. 2 out. Souls is set in a 1-1 pitch, and he goes to pick off Keys, and it gets under the glove of Owen Jansen. Keys rounding second and heading to third, and he's in there, and he's a big turnaround third, hovering in between third base and home, but he'll head back to third. It was a very costly error.
And that's an E1 error on the pitcher, a 2-base error, and a huge one for Evan Souls, as that throw was far too low for Owen Jansen to reasonably get at first base. Got by him, and with 2 outs.
That's the first runner in scoring position today for the Cardinals. A 1-1 pitch with 2 out. That one just high and in.
And now Keys can try to distract Souls out of the corner of his eye. The right-handed pitcher, his face is facing third base, so if he can make some noise over there at third with his movements, he can distract Souls a little bit.
On the ground, a 1-hopper to Roy Sando. He'll make the play to end the inning. Cardinals strand a runner as we head to the 5th inning. Barrie leads 3-0. You're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. It's the 5th inning here in Hamilton at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Baycats lead 3-0. And your play-by-play voice for this inning, Patrick Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Julius. 5th inning brought to you by Eatsall Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for almost 40 years because you deserve the best. New pitcher for the Cardinals is Alex Lanigan. He'll be entering his first inning of work after overall what was a pretty good start for Jason Wilbur. went through the Baycats batting order 3 times. Well, 3 times to Burns, but 2 times to pretty much everybody else. We open the inning with Roy Sando. First pitch to him was a strike. Second one is up high for a ball.
Ando previously up in the last inning. Carson Burns gunned down the base pass to end the inning, so Ando back up again to lead off this 5th inning.
That's fouled back to the screen. Chris Cox continues to get loose in that Baycats bullpen. No action now in the Cardinals bullpen as Lanigan comes in for Wilbur. And what were your impressions of Jason Wilbur after seeing him for the first time?
You know, he had a great beginning to his outing, and then that last inning just got away from him. But, you know, another guy that I think as his outing progressed, he needed more time in between his pitches to really gather himself and reset his body. And that might have ultimately hurt him in the long run, giving up those 3 runs.
Wilbur was a lefty. This is a righty on the mound in Lanigan, so a brand new look for this Baycats roster as Ando fouls it pretty much to the same spot on the screen that he did last time. Ben Davey was talking in the last game that we called. If you, as a hitter, if you as a spectator stand in one place and get a foul ball near you, stay there because there might be another one right next to you in the next pitch, because oftentimes if you see 2 foul balls back to back, they go to a pretty similar place.
Yeah, especially when the pitch and the swing are at the same time in back-to-back pitches. You know, often when the pitcher finds something that works, he's going to hit that spot again, or at least he'd like to.
A foul ball off the catcher, so he'll take an extra second, go out to the mound and talk with the pitcher, reset the game plan for what to do with Royce Ando. Ando struck out twice against Wilbur, so he'll be happy that Jason Wilbur's out of this game. Was about to see him again with a runner on first base, but Carson Burns got caught stealing to end the top of the 4th inning, so that at-bat didn't end up being an official one. Ando swings and misses through strike 3 up in the zone, and that is 3 strikeouts for Royce Ando today. That'll bring up Starlin Rodriguez.
Rodriguez with an excellent catch in the last inning, saving a run in deep center field. And hardest play for an outfielder to make is that ball that's hit straight to you.
We're here in the top of the 5th inning. Glad to have you with us on Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. First pitch to Starlin shows bunt. It is a foul tip strike. Got 0-1, nobody on. Baycats leading 3-0 over the Hamilton Cardinals in their second matchup of the season. The first one was in Vintage Throne Stadium where the Hamilton Cardinals beat the Barrie Baycats 5-3. Baycats with the lead right now, hoping to even up the season series. Starlin Rodriguez hits it shortstop and it's through for a base hit. Rodriguez rounds first, thinks about second, but decides to stay at first as the left fielder throws it back in. That's the left fielder, Danny Berg, getting it in good time. So a single for Starlin with 1 out here in the 5th.
That ball just under the body of the shortstop Towers as he was trying to dive to make that play. It's going to go down as a hit for Starlin Rodriguez.
So Rodriguez has been on base all 3 times tonight. A walk, reaching on an error by the second baseman, and then a single. And that'll bring up Ryan Rio, who really hit the ball that he saw in the 3rd a long way to right field, but the wind was kind of blowing in and may have taken a big fly away from him. Seems like Ryan Rio likes hitting home runs to right field on the road. I remember a couple of those in Kitchener as well.
Well, as a left-handed hitter, it's definitely easier to hit the ball harder when it's on your pull side.
Yep.
But Rio showed earlier this year that he can hit the ball hard the other way as well.
Like seeing it to all fields. It's the first time today he's facing a right-handed pitcher. Grounds to first base, could be 2. Second for 1, back to first. And they'll get him at first, call it 2. It is a ground ball double play by Ryan Rio. And with that, the top of the 5th inning is over. We got to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
Welcome back. As Dennis DeBanning hits the first pitch from Souls to deep center field, moving back is Starlin Rodriguez at the wall, and he makes the catch. Another great catch by Starlin Rodriguez, the excellent center fielder for the Baycats, 1 out.
That ball was almost the exact same hit as what was in the previous inning by Tyler Duncan. And Rodriguez got a little bit spun around there. He kind of lost the ball. It's a very high sky today in Hamilton, not a cloud in sight. But it's an incredible play there by Rodriguez nonetheless.
You're just joining us, Baycats put 3 runs up in the top of the 4th inning. Other than that, no runs in the ball game. They lead 3-0. First pitch to Danny Berg, or excuse me, Lane Renaud is up and away.
This is his 50th pitch.
Evan Souls' 50th pitch is inside. Count 1-1. A couple of arms warming up for the Hamilton Cardinals, by the way. Gabe Braun and Rasheal Botts. So Lanigan's day might be done. Pitch down and away from Souls. Count 2-1. Renaud still looking for his first hit across 2 games against the Baycats this year. Big cut on a miss. Count even at 2.
It's great that Souls really able to still find his velocity this far into the ball game. It's only just about 50 pitches, but the longer it goes, the more labor it takes.
I mean, 50 pitches in the 5th inning, that is an excellent pace. And that is strike 3 swinging. Renaud strikes out for the 2nd time today. And he must be just about hating the Barrie Baycats so far this season. Because this season against the Barrie Baycats, he is now 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Just not the matchups he's been looking for. First pitch inside to Jacob Underwood, the first baseman. He can play catcher. He's playing first base today. But yeah, Renaud has just not been seeing the ball well against the Baycats at all. That's grounded to first base. Jansen flips it to Souls, and that will end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning with barely any pitches thrown by Evan Souls. The opposite of trouble. Heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Excuse me, the top of the 6th inning. Still 3-0 Baycats. You're listening to Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV. Welcome back to Carstar Field at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern, Kendra Doyle with you on Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. Our first Baycats Radio game of the year. 6th inning is brought to you by Beating the Odds Autism Center and Farm, where teaching is brought to nature. And now to call the 6th for you is Julius Hern.
Thank you, Patrick. Adam Oz steps in.
outside.
Takes the first pitch outside, now 1-0.
I think it'd just be cautious here, not wanting to throw something too far inside. Who Odd looks like he's stepping on top of the plate almost.
Lanigan, a first inning in the IBL, did pretty well.
Same spot in that pitch. Now 2-0. Adam Odd 0 for 2 so far with a strikeout. And grounded out to the pitcher his last time up.
This is Lanigan's second inning of work.
Sorry, a strikeout for Lanigan to start his IBL career.
And the pitch down low, and now 3-0 to Adam Odd.
Able to turn a double play.
Lanigan got one strikeout. A lot of strikeouts for the Baycats today. That was not a weakness for Jason Wilbert today.
That ball in there for a called strike.
Cardinals bullpen. See if Lanigan
Now 3-1.
continues to pitch here. May just be a 2-inning guy.
Adam Odd was taken all the way on that pitch, and now 3-1. Fouled off from the left side out of play.
20 seconds. Days ago. Well, he started the last time he saw action.
Need to ask Neil and Jarrett in the commercial break whether they've ever made a play in the broadcast booth here.
We had one close Friday night, actually.
Full count, pitch to Adam Odd, and that one's in the dirt low. As Odd will take first base with a walk.
So you might overhear them on our broadcast as well. That's on Baycats TV.
Baycats TV was actually Baycats Radio today.
Stepping up to the plate, the right fielder.
Kuzemka will step up.
Christian Kuzemka.
He's 1 for 2 with a single.
That's going to leave the batter now as Odd walks down the
Grounded out to short his first time up.
1 on, nobody away here in the top of the 6th inning. Lanigan
Adam Odd takes a modest lead off first base.
in this inning.
And that ball in there, lowest part of the zone for strike 1.
And Lanigan having the count at 0-1.
Much different on the base pass now with the right-handed pitcher.
Lanigan got a double play the last time up.
So we might see a little bit more action on the base pass here with Lanigan on the mound. There's a pickoff attempt there, but Adam Odd in safely at first.
Looks like Aiden Russell is starting to get warmed up now, the lefty in the bullpen for the Baycats.
Oh, 1 pitch inside on Kuzemka. 1-1.
First ball there from Lanigan. This is up and in.
Kuzemka with high stance. Sees the 1-1, and it's on the ground to short. This could be 2. On a second in the shallow right field, Adam Odd will take third. Kuzemka rounds first but stays. And another error by the shortstop Towers.
Time there.
As now we see runners in the corners with nobody out for the Baycats.
That's his second error of the game.
Now
And this
the
Hamilton
left
Cardinals
fielder,
team,
number 34, James Anderson.
overall, it's looked really good early on in this season, but the one big weakness has been the defense. And we've seen it in both these games against the Baycats where their defense is just not up to par.
Plenty of errors all around in Thursday night's matchup between these two clubs. As now James Anderson steps in. Singleton scored in the 4th inning his last time up. Now went on the ground up the middle. Another play, could be 2. Touches second and on to first for the double play. As Odd scores anyway, they concede the run. Now 4-0 Baycats with 2 out here in the 6th inning.
Baycats will take it.
Now Tyler Plumpton will step in.
Stepping up to the plate, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton.
Tyler Plumpton will be the batter now. He's 0 for 1. He's also got a run scored. He lost his last time up. There's now 2 away here in the Baycats.
Plumpton walked and scored his last time up. That ball milled the zone for a strike.
From Lanigan.
The 3 in the bottom of the order that scored the first 3 runs for the Baycats, 7, 8, 9, James Anderson, Tyler Plumpton, Owen Jansen. Now add Adam Odd to that.
Now on the ground to third base. Throws on to first and makes the play to end the inning. Baycats get a run
1 run, 0
as we head
hits, 1 run
to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV.
Heading to the bottom. Stop number 2, Charlie Towers.
Bottom of the 6th inning here in Hamilton. Beautiful day here at Barrie Baycats Stadium. As Charlie Towers steps in to lead off. Evan Soul still on the mound. That first pitch cut on and missed.
The Barrie Baycats will be hosting another big summer of camp this coming July. Last summer was the biggest summer camp in the history of the organization, with a week of March break camp indoors and 3 weeks of summer camp at Vintage Throne Stadium. There's 2 weeks focused on select and rep levels and 1 focused on house league. For more info and to register, go to barriebaycats.com/camps.
That last pitch fouled over our booth. Now 0-2 to Towers. That ball high and away, now 1-2.
Now he'll be looking to make up for those errors. A couple of them in the game for him.
And their foul ball out of play down the third base side. Towers fouled out his only time up in the 3rd inning. Soul's working quickly. Here's the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt low, now 2-2.
The only team in the IBL allowing the young fans to keep the baseball. Nice little touch.
This pitch is again fouled out of play on the third base side. Plenty of souvenirs here for the Cardinals fans, especially the kids here at the ballpark.
Yeah, you bring your glove, you get a ball.
Soul.
See that, Julius? If you bring your glove.
That ball lined into center field, and it's going to get down. Rodriguez plays it on a hop, and into the infield quickly. A leadoff single for Charlie Towers.
Charlie Towers trying to light the spark here.
Now the top of the order for the Cardinals. Baycats done a good job at keeping them from threatening too often today. Hamilton's still looking for their first run.
That's only the 2nd hit of the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals today.
Souls has been excellent again, showing everybody why he won Pitcher of the Week. This is a guy who was originally projected to be in the bullpen for the Baycats this year. The injury to Christian Mullen and a setback with Garner Spoljaric. I don't know if it's a setback or if it's just that he's not ready to pitch yet, but Souls has really found a spot in this rotation.
Yeah, absolutely, as that pitch was fouled on the third base side out of play. Yeah, it seems like Spoljaric will be in the lineup eventually, probably later on this season.
And setback's probably the wrong word. I believe that was expected.
Yeah, and as that ball's outside for the first ball of the at-bat, 1-1. Matt Rose told us he joined the team. They had Spoljaric join the team knowing full well that he was nursing a shoulder injury. But they're committed to having him join the roster eventually this year as a pickoff attempt at first base.
For more injury updates, you can head to barriebaycats.com where Sam O'Coin has the latest. Great to have Sam on our Baycats media team this year. James Henderson as well, Kendra Doyle, Julius Hern, Dylan Quinn.
1-1 to Rivera. Foul tip into the glove of Plumpton, now 1-2.
As always, Dan Miller, Brian Backlund, Gary Mason, Rob Daniels, all part of our great media crew for the Barrie Baycats this season. Joseph Nardella as well.
Souls pitching from the stretch. The 1-2. And outside strike called. Rivera down.
And there's one away here.
Now 1 out here in the 6th inning.
And Brian Rivera will have been envisioning something else for his Hamilton Cardinals debut. He is now 0 for 3 at the top of the order. And nothing is assumed when it comes to Brian Rivera, because even though he is, I believe, on the import player rule and expect to be a big part of this team, Tristan Osika is still around on this team, and he is still a very good second baseman who can be an impact hitter at the top of the order. So he's going to have to earn his spot.
Clayton Keys fouls that one out of play on the right side, 0-1.
Hamilton has shown a willingness to be proactive when it comes to transactions with Troy Banks no longer on the roster.
Still runner on first, 1 out. Another pickoff attempt at first, but sliding in safe is Towers. Another pickoff attempt. Soul is working quickly, trying to get that runner off guard.
You guys got laundry service. We had this discussion on Friday. We're making sure they got laundry service. These poor guys are going to be out.
Soul is working from the stretch. Clayton Keys stepping in. Large secondary lead. As that ball just above the zone for ball 3. Now 3-1. This could be an opportunity for Charlie Towers to get a jump on Evan Soul's delivery here.
Keys on its way momentarily from Souls.
Pitch from Souls. High for ball 4. Now 2 on with 1 out for the Cardinals. Another runner in scoring position is Tyler Plumpton. Makes a mound visit. Now we're getting a mound visit from one of the Baycats coaches.
It looks like Andrew White out there on the mounds. Brad Grieveson not with the team today. So it'll be bench coach Andrew White giving a message to Souls as Aiden Russell returns to the bullpen area. So does Josh Cote, one of the catchers for the Baycats, who will likely act as his bullpen catcher.
Right fielder number 47, Tyler Duncan.
Let's go!
The good thing for Souls is even with a couple of runners on, he's pitching with a 4-run lead, so he doesn't have to be super stressy about the current situation.
Potential tying run on deck as Tyler Duncan steps in with 1 out. 2 runners on.
Feel that double play depth here, just trying to keep the ball in front of them.
Evan Souls could raise a double play here.
Sure could.
That ball on the outside corner for strike 1.
Duncan 1 for 2 so far today. Single in the first. Then he flew out to center field in the fourth. That was a deep fly ball. There have been 2 flyouts to Starlin Rodriguez in the recent innings, and they were both very deep.
0-1 pitch from Souls. That one fouled to the screen.
Yeah, that jammed him. Got in on his bat. Made it a really uncomfortable swing for Duncan.
Duncan was 1 for 2 in the contest, 4 for 20 on the year. Just the 1 RBI, but looking to rate that number a little higher right now. Howard bounces off the bag.
0-2 from Souls. Check swing, but that ball's low. It didn't go around. Now 1-2.
75th pitch coming up.
75th pitch coming up for Evan Souls, we're told.
75 pitches.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Tyler Duncan strikes out, and now 2 down.
And that is Pate from Evan Souls. Perfect location. Brought up the velo for that, and he fooled Duncan.
Duncan just wasn't able to keep his hands in enough as he swung right through that ball.
Feels like Bernardo has had better at-bats today than his 0 for 2.
That first pitch outside to the catcher Bernardo. Dancing lead at second for Towers. The pitch. Another ball low. Now 2-0 on Bernardo. First 2 pitches both outside.
The pitcher's still thinking, I got something else you haven't seen yet.
Two-0 pitch. Apple's flown into shallow right field. Tough play for Jansen, and it's going to fall in fair territory. 1 run is in. Staying at third is Keys. Into second is Bernardo. And the Cardinals are on the board as Towers scores. And it's 4-1 Baycats.
Yeah, not much Jansen to do there. Back to the mound. Just trying to make a last-minute catcher hope it drops foul, drop in fair territory. And the Cardinals pick up their first run of the game.
Always tough for when an infielder has to run back on a ball, attempt an over-the-shoulder catch. Jansen just couldn't get there quite in time. A great placement from Bernardo, going the other way with that ball. Now 2 runners in scoring position as Danny Berg steps in.
He makes his way from first to third. Now a couple of runners in scoring position for Berg.
It's the key at bat here. Berg 0 for 2 against Souls.
That ball inside for ball 1.
Inside for a ball. Activity definitely going on both barrels here from both sides. The 2 Baycats are warming up in the bullpen.
Stepping Strecker over there in the Cardinals bullpen.
1-0. That ball lined to the right center field. That ball's going to get down, split the gap, and go to the warning track. Both runs are in. As Berg heads to second, he's going to round go to third. The relay is not in time. A triple for Danny Berg, and it's now 4-3.
Danny Berg with the clutch double here.
An RBI triple for Danny Berg, and it's now a 1-run game.
Just not the pitch that Evan Souls was hoping for, and the Baycats seem likely to make a change. It's just whether it's going to be this batter or not.
That was the play designated hitter number 16, Dennis Delpanic.
With how long Aiden Russell's been warming up in that pen, now double barrel action.
Yeah, you would think Russell's ready.
This could either way if the inning ends or.
Field over to second base. They thought he missed the base.
Well, they would like, with 2 outs here, a reliever to come in with a fresh inning.
I think either way if the inning ends or if DeBanning gets on base, I think this might be Souls' last hitter.
Just trying to get the number of the other pitcher out there.
Evan Souls on the mound, just a little blip here, and fortunately for the Cardinals, they're able to take
First pitch taken for a ball outside.
They come alive here a little bit in this contest.
DeBanning is 0 for 2, grounded out and flew out to center.
an RBI for Bernardo and 2.
The other reliever out there is Adam Kahn.
That ball flown into right field. Kazemka on it, and he will make the catch just in front of the warning track to end the inning. 3 runs for the Cardinals. It's now 4-3 Baycats. You're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. It's one-run ball game here in Hamilton. 4-3 Baycats as Owen Jansen steps in to lead off the 7th inning. Corbin Peters on to pitch now for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Corbin Peters entering his 4th game of work. He's pitched 5 1/3, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, struck out 6, only walked 2. He has been extremely effective for the Cardinals, was effective as well in that game against the Baycats just a few games ago. He's a guy that does have overpowering stuff and does not get rattled easily out there.
That ball lined to third base by Jansen, but caught. Now one out.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Corbin Peters having pitched 3 years at Grambling State University, Division I NCAA. Struggled a bit in his college career, but great stuff nonetheless. First pitch low for ball 1.
Yeah, he brings heat out there on the mound. Good velocity, but also good movement. He's a real asset to this Cardinals team.
Now Carson Burns in there, takes strike 1. Now 1-1. Burns reached on an error his last time up, but was caught stealing to end the 4th inning.
Jansen was the one who lined out there to Wayne Renault at 3rd. Burns takes that
1-1 pitch taken low for ball 2.
That's an okay miss. If you're swinging at that, you're probably not going to get hard contact anyway.
Burns over 3, looking to make another impact here in the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. Out of play on the left side.
7th inning, by the way, brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Peters asked for a new baseball. He's going to get one from the home plate umpire.
They hold a 1-run lead here in the top of the 7th.
Thank you.
Base is empty and 1 away.
2-2 here to Carson Burns as Peters looks into the signs from Bernardo.
Strikes on Burns. Peters resets.
Pitching from the stretch with nobody on. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Burns strikes out. And now 2 down here for the Baycats in the 7th.
3rd strikeout of the day for Carson Burns. This is 1 to forget for
Stepping up to the
him.
plate, the 2nd baseman, number 7, Royce Ando.
And the Baycats' top of the order has not been as productive as they'd have hoped. It has been a day where the top 2 hitters have a combined 6 strikeouts.
Royce Ando here looking to avoid the golden sombrero, having struck out 3 times previous in this ballgame.
Royce Ando's due.
Swung on a miss for strike 1. Just the outside part of the zone. The 0-1 pitch from Peters. Outside. A bit low for ball 1.
That's it. Dominique Field in Toronto.
Count now even at a ball and a strike on Ando. Pitch from Burns.
1-1 pitch from Peters. Again outside, but a bit higher this time. Now 2-1.
One's outside, 2 balls and a strike. Base is empty and 2 away for Ando.
Good hitters count here. 2-1.
2-1 pitch. Fouled in the backstop. Now 2-2.
Just got under it.
Royce Ando's been swinging a lot this game. All 3 of his strikeouts have been swinging.
Guys, it's the camera. It took a little jiggle off the fence there.
Ando just 1 strike away here from the Golden Sombrero. Looking to avoid that at all costs as he fouls that last pitch off. Now the 2-2.
And check swing on the 2-2, and they call a strike 3 anyway. Royce Ando, his 4th strikeout of the ball game, ends the top of the 7th for the Baycats. No runs, no hits, no errors. You listen to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV.
Aiden Russell in for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He'll be facing off against Lane Renaud, Jacob Underwood, and Charlie Towers. Bottom of the order as the Baycats holding on to a 1-run lead. The strong lefty in here in the bottom of the inning. Lane Renaud stepping in and stepping back up to the mic, Julius Hern.
A close one here at Hamilton, 4-3 after the stretch as Aiden Russell comes in. 4-3 for the Baycats in this close ball game. First pitch from Russell to Lane Renaud. Outside for ball 1.
Aiden Russell, the Barrie, Ontario native, is entering his 3rd season with the Baycats. A strong left-hander with an ERA of only 2.
1-0 pitch from Russell. Foul to the screen. Now 1-1.
Russell, a guy who can bring big deception from the left-hand pitcher point of view. Extremely good against both sides, though. Led the team in ERA last year and was extremely high. Might have even led the team in 2021 as well. Just an extremely consistent left-handed pitcher.
1-1 pitch, middle for strike 2. Now 1-2.
And it's a very important role for him because he's the only left-handed reliever on the team. Adam Kahn, by the way, has sat down.
Now the 1-2.
1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Renaud strikes out. And 1 gone for the Cardinals here in the 7th.
Lane Renaud just
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number
will be hoping to face a team that's not the Baycats pretty soon. Now 0 for 5 with 5 Ks against them this year. And a Cardinals player hitting the bat against the dugout there, I think.
Now the lefty Jacob Underwood at the plate.
Jacob Underwood up, 1 out. Pitch from Russell.
Brett Gardner got into the habit of doing that. He just started smacking the bat against the roof of the dugout.
He even just punched the roof sometimes as that pitch was inside for ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch. Fouled off from the left side out of play. Now 1-1. You mentioned Russell being the only left-handed reliever on the team. Josh Matlow, the manager, really has to use him sparingly in some key moments, and this is definitely one right here.
Well, he's also primarily a one-inning guy, so you need to make sure you bring him in the right spot.
That last pitch low in the dirt for ball 2. Now 2-1 to Jacob Underwood.
9-3 on the Royals. Jack has Park and Kitchener.
2-1 here from Russell.
2-1 from Russell. That ball lined into center field. On a beat is Starling Rodriguez, but he's going to get it on 1 hop. And a long single into the gap for Jacob Underwood. 1-on-1 out now for Charlie Towers as he'll step up.
Well fielded by the outfielder, managed to get the ball in before Underwood could get the second base. And keeping him at first is important with 1 out because now he set him up with the force out.
And Rodriguez played that one really well. With great range, he knew where that ball was going to drop, and he just let it drop. Only got it on 1 hop.
Definitely thanking their center fielder, preventing extra bases on that one by Underwood.
1-on-1 out as Towers lines it into left field for a base hit. Rounding second is Underwood. He'll stay at second. Now 2-on with 1 out.
There at the bottom of the lineup.
2 quick hits against Aiden Russell here in the 7th.
2 straight. And now there's going to be some action in the bullpen again as someone else is starting to run down there. Wonder if that's Con again. I can't see the face. And now a pinch runner coming in for the Hamilton Cardinals. So Connor Bowie coming in to pinch run for Underwood, who is a catcher primarily and not a fast runner. Bowie is a good runner.
37, Brian Rivera.
Brian Rivera steps in now. 2-on-1 out.
Rivera trying to be the hero in his debut with the Hamilton Cardinals.
He's got a couple men on with 1 away.
First pitch from Russell. Fouled off out of play on the right side. Brian Rivera 0 for 3 so far with 2 strikeouts in this ballgame.
Also lined out the first base in the first inning.
Maybe they saw something while they was doing his warm-ups or something here, but they definitely seem to be dialed in against him.
Now the 0-1 to Rivera.
Pitch from Russell. Broken bat again, and that one's just going to be a dribble or foul towards the Baycats dugout. That's his 2nd broken bat of the game.
Fans, the Baycats Banter podcast is back for season 2. Join the shows for story, stats, discussion, and interviews with your favorite Baycats. Learn more about your team. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Baycats TV, or your favorite podcast app.
fresh, crispy fried chicken goes no further than KFC. With over 10 locations in Hamilton, KFC's fried chicken is always nearby.
10 KFCs, more than 7-Eleven in their backpacks. Rivera goes to get a brand new bat.
Yeah, that bat did not get through that last foul ball.
No, it was like handle and barrel separated completely. The 0-2 with 1 out here to Brian Rivera.
Rivera behind 0-2 with 1 away. Pitch from Russell.
Russell pitch is grounded to the first baseman. Covering the bag is Russell, and it's going to get past Russell. Underwood will score. It's a tie ball game as Rivera makes it to second base.
And you would have to think that's an error on Aiden Russell, or maybe even on Owen Jansen.
Well, that wasn't a hard hit ball by any means. You still have to make that play.
If it was me, I'd probably give the error to the pitcher just because he had more time than I think he thought he had getting it to first base.
Yeah, I think he might have been catching the ball before he physically made the act of catching it.
So it will be an error on the pitcher. And it's a big error because now the game is tied.
A mound visit now from the infield with Aiden Russell. Some strategy here with now 2 runners in scoring position here in the 7th and 1 out.
The annoying thing for a reliever, especially one who's used to being at the top of the ERA charts, is an outing where you give up a couple of runs, if they're earns, that can stick on your ERA for a while.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the relative short amount of innings the reliever will pitch. Every run, huge. As infield in now for the Baycats, as they might be trying to gun down the runner at home should he go on a ground ball. Tyler.
And they're going to intentionally walk Clayton Keys.
Clayton Keys intentionally walked to load the bases with 1 out. It's going to put the double play in order.
He was walking, scored in his last at-bat. He's the number 2 hitter for this team, arguably the best hitter on the team. So they're going to make the decision to pitch to Tyler Duncan, who's 1 for 3 today and did not have a good day at Vintage Throne Stadium the other night.
Tyler Duncan 1 for 3 so far. Had a single in the first, flew out in the 4th, struck out in the 6th inning.
Fielding tight now for the right fielder, Tyler Duncan.
First pitch to Duncan is popped up on the infield. Now in the shallow left center. Rodriguez calls off Anderson. Tagging up. Rodriguez made the catch and looked to drop it on the transfer. The run will score as Charlie Towers tags up. So I guess they ruled that he dropped it on the transfer. So Duncan does fly out to center field, but Charlie Towers will score. Sack fly for Tyler Duncan. Now the Hamilton Cardinals take a 5-4 lead.
Good catcher, number 14, Luis Bernardo.
Now still runners on first and second as the other runners didn't move up.
And the Baycats, after they had that 3-0 lead for so long, went to a 4-0 lead, now trail 5-4.
First pitch swung on and missed by the catcher Bernardo.
Runners at second and first here.
And he might be asking for a new bat here.
Luis Bernardo, who came through with
Oh, he's asking for some pine tar.
Has to do it again here.
Really rough inning here for Aiden Russell. Another guy you expect a little bit more from in these situations.
You would think this might be his last batter if he can't retire him. There are 2 out.
0-1 pitch to Bernardo in the dirt. Plumped him with a nice block there, now 1-1.
For 3, 4 for 19 on the season.
Cardinals nabbing that lead from the Baycats. Looking to do a little bit more damage here with another runner in scoring position. Would love to extend that lead and get their pitching.
Russell is set, now the 1-1, 2 out. The pitch. Grounded to short. And this will end the inning as he flipped from Burns to Ando, excuse me. Will end the inning. But 2 runs here for the Cardinals as they take a 5-4 lead. You're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV. Welcome back to beautiful Hamilton, Ontario at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium for this top of the 8th inning, and it's brought to you by Expedia Cruises in Barrie, air, land, and sea vacations. And now back on the mic, Mr. Patrick Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Julius. Hern. Starlin Rodriguez will lead things off. A defensive replacement for Hamilton. To note, Brandon Latter has come in to play first base for Connor Bowie, who pinch ran for Jacob Underwood. It'll be Rodriguez, then Ryan Rio, and Adam Odd. First pitch to Starlin is outside, ball 1.
Rodriguez 1 for 2 in this ballgame, but has reached all 3 times he's been up to the plate. On a walk, reached on an error, and a single in the 5th inning.
Kicks, throws. Corbin Peters still on the mound. He fooled Starlin Rodriguez right there, who was way early on it.
And he doesn't appear to be pitching around Starlin Rodriguez by any measure. Really attacking them in the zone.
Hamilton up by 1, bases empty here in the top of the 8th inning. And there's a strike to Starlin. He didn't like that call. Count 1 and 2. Barrie scored 3 in the 4th, another in the 7th. Another in the 6th. But Hamilton came back and scored 5 across the last 2 innings. Starlin smashes one to left field, way back there. It is gone! Starlin Rodriguez ties the game. A big fly for the Baycats slugger, his 2nd of the year. And we are all tied up at 5.
That's exactly what the Baycats needed in this ballgame. That will tie it. And an absolute moonshot from Starlin Rodriguez. That ball was out in a hurry.
Starlin Rodriguez doing what he does best, his second homer of the season. And that gives some life to the Barrie Baycats here in the 8th inning.
Hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
Second home run of the season for Rodriguez.
The first home run in the game by either team tonight.
That'll bring up the designated hitter Ryan Rio.
And here's Rio, who is perfectly capable of going back-to-back.
Cardinals have given up here at Bernie Arbor Stadium this season.
It has been an excellent outing other than that for Corbin Peters. But now it's a brand new ball game.
Now, Corbin Peters needs to settle down.
Are you ready for potential extra innings?
I'm down.
Okay. Rio, it's at the left side, foul out of play.
Rio's 0 for 2 in the contest.
No balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Rio.
Even batting on fire. He was 8 for 20. Swings and misses.
And he
Peters gets him
swings and
straight out.
misses. Gets away from the catcher, who tags him on the way back up. Rio down on strikes, 1 away.
That play, 1 away.
So now here's Adam Odd, who's 0 for 2, but he reached on base with a walk his last time up. That was in the 6th inning.
Number 26, Adam Odd.
Ryan Rio now 0 for 3. A couple of really tough at-bats he's had today.
This season on Baycats TV and BarrieBaycats.com, we'll be showing off highlights from your Barrie Baycats more often than ever before. Head to BarrieBaycats.com and subscribe to Barrie Baycats TV to see them all. First pitch outside to Adam Odd.
Peters, you just got to settle down and just throw your pitches here and let the defense does the job.
Odd left-handed hitter against the right-handed Corbin Peters. That one's in the zone. Strike 1. Count even at 1.
Yeah, and then our pitcher warming up in the Cardinals bullpen. I can't tell who that is. It's not Steph Stricker. That's the hair gives that one away.
Couple of pitchers up in the Cardinals bullpen, someone up as well in the Baycats bullpen.
Looks like Chris Cox is up in the Barrie bullpen.
I believe you are correct.
Neither starter will factor into the decision today, unfortunately.
It's a left field and foul. Marcel Lacasse has come out on deck for Christian Kazemka.
Todd has a 2-2 count on him.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
More comfortable from scoring from the stretch here.
Peters taking his time on the mound, now comes home. That's hit to left field again, powerfully but foul. And that's why it parked far away.
You mentioned,
There's a lot of cars out there, and I wouldn't want to be one of those.
you mentioned the velocity from Corbin Peters. Looks like some of these Baycats hitters are just a bit late on it,
Marcel Lacasse
especially
looks like he's getting loose.
the lefties Ryan Rio and now Adam Odd.
Take over for Zemka.
On the ground, right side, stays fair, no, goes foul at the last second. Odd will get another chance at the plate.
Right of the bag. So it's another foul ball for Odd.
I'm surprised the first baseman, Ladder,
Thought about charging.
freshly into the ball game, didn't come in and charge that ball. Would have been an easy out had he picked the ball up in fair territory.
That's a good observation.
It's going to be extra bases.
We've seen a couple of plays over this last series where defensively the Cardinals
Still 2-2 here.
just could use a little bit more urgency at times. Kicks, throws. On the ground, this time to second base. Well played at second. Throw on to first, and that's the second out. Score at 4-3. And here's Marcel Lacasse pinch hitting for Christian Kazemka.
Pinch hitting for Barrie.
Kazemka.
number 13, Marcel Lacasse.
Was 1 for 3.
So pinch hitter now.
Reached on errors last time up, had a single in the second. But now Lacasse, we've seen some great power from Lacasse so far this season.
You sure have. They go with the left-hander Lacasse instead of the right-hander Kazemka.
Your righty on lefty matchup here.
Kicks and throws. First pitch is strike to Lacasse.
Changed up in the zone for strike 1.
2 more like that, buddy. 2 more. Let's go now.
The superfan wants a strikeout. Baycats fans hoping for the opposite. They want a home run.
Now the 1-2.
Or at least
0-1 pitch from Burns. This one's on the ground as well.
a base hit, and they'll get one. Base hit left field for Marcel Lacasse.
Too far for him and the shortstop Towers.
Lacasse has been
Base hit.
very good this season, hitting the ball the other way.
By Lacasse there.
We saw him have a flash of power, great power in an exhibition game against the Thornhill Reds to begin the season.
Single.
Sixth hit
His
of the day.
He had that big home run.
booming home run to left field, going the other way with it.
Couple errors.
So here's James Anderson.
playing left field today.
Peterson battling in here, trying to get this last.
Singled and scored back in the 4th inning. Also ground out into a double play in the 6th. That's hit to right field. That one's down for a base hit. Lacasse rounding second. He's going to go to third, testing the arm, and there will be no play. They cut off at second base. Does Brian Rivera. Going to third is Lacasse. It's a base hit for Anderson, and they have runners on the corners with 2 out here in the 8th inning.
As Lacasse rounded second there, he looked to hesitate a little bit. Wasn't exactly sure if he should go. I'm not sure if he was just picking up the signs from the third base coach, Andrew White. But not even an attempt to make a relay throw to him. Now runs in the corners.
Jeremy Eulenbrook coaching first base, Andrew White at third base today. And now Tyler Plumpton, one of the most consistent hitters of the 2022 Barrie Baycats, hoping for another clutch hit here. It's Anderson at first. He's got good speed. Better speed at third, though, with Lacasse. Kicks, throws. And a weak dribbler right behind the plate, foul.
Plumpton 0 for 1 so far. He popped out to second in the 2nd and had a walk and scored in the 4th inning. Unless I'm missing something on my scorebook here. Oh, he grounded out as well in the 6th.
I think that's the first time ever one of my scorebooks has helped someone else. Corbin Peters ready. Glove at the waist. Kicks, comes home. And that's outside.
A lot of borderline pitches here today. Smaller zone.
It has been a small zone, but it has been a consistent zone for Mackenzie Wright. We got the one reaction from Starlin Rodriguez earlier in the game. Other than that, no real reactions from the zone. That's a strike. Plumpton very close to the zone with that one, so would have looked like a ball to him, but it was in the zone.
That was a great breaking ball. Looked like he was going to come in off the plate on Plumpton, but it curved right in over the plate. Great use of that breaking ball, mixing it in with the other pitches.
Baycats tied it up this inning with a home run by Starlin Rodriguez. That hits Plumpton, and the bases will be loaded. Anderson up to second. Lacasse stays at third.
That fastball just got away from Corbin Peters. Similar release point to that last breaking ball he just threw.
And now one of the Hamilton Cardinals coaches is coming out to the mound. I believe that is the pitching coach, Chris Piano.
Three-man mound visit.
Bernardo, Piano, and Peters.
Some activity in the Hamilton bullpen, one arm up.
May also be Chris Davies, the other assistant coach.
Now at the plate, the first baseman, number 14, Owen Jansen.
So here's Owen Jansen, bottom of the order. The reverse leadoff guy for the Barrie Baycats. Struck out in the 2nd, tripled and scored in the 4th. Man, could they use another one of those right now. And he lined out to third in the 7th. Here in the 8th. Jansen fouls it back. Right over the screen. Warming up for the Cardinals right now is Rashiel Botts.
Jansen, as you mentioned, was an all-star last year in the 2nd team. And the 0-1 for Peters.
Peters comes home with the 0-1, and that is fouled off pretty much in the same space. And that got a real car.
Every time I hear this sound effect, I'm thinking we're back in our car.
Was that not a real car? Was that a sound effect? That was a convincing sound effect.
That was very good.
Was that a sound effect? Wow. Fooled. That was probably the most realistic sound effect I think I've heard at an IBL park. That fooled me. Here's the 0-2. Hits a right field. Is it fair? No. It curves into foul territory. That would have scored a couple.
I might have cleared the bases right there, just where it was hit right down the line. Just like the Owen Jansen triple earlier in the ball game, right down the right field line. And that ball getting to the wall. Fairly deep park here in Hamilton. The base is still loaded here for Jansen.
Lacasse at third, Anderson at second, Plumpton at first.
Up 2-0.
The 0-2 to Owen Jansen coming up. And it's low, 1-2. Baycats and Cardinals tied at 5 here in the top of the 8th inning here at Carstar Field at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Baycats have added 1 this inning, would love to add more.
Resets on the mound.
Peters stares in for the sign. Glove by the waist.
The 1-2.
Kicks, fires. And that is strike 3. Jansen down on strikes looking. And that'll end the inning. Baycats tie it up and lead the bases loaded. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, you're watching Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
The left fielder, number 3, Danny Bird.
Adam Kahn warming up in the Baycats bullpen, but it'll be Aiden Russell coming back out on the mounds here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Danny Berg back at the plate.
Danny Berg will lead things off, then Dennis DeBanning and Lane Renaud. First pitch inside by Russell. Baycats playing the lefty-lefty matchup, keeping Russell out there, even though last inning was not what anybody had in mind on the Baycats side.
This might be his last hitter, only just for the purposes of the matchup.
Berg takes one.
There's a strike, 1-1. Marcel Lacasse stays in the game, playing right field.
The Cardinals did trail 4-0 in this ball game. Came back and took the lead.
Baycats 5, Cardinals 5.
Solo shot in the last
That's granted up the middle. That's a base hit. Danny Berg, who tripled his last time up, gets a single there. He's seeing the ball well right now. It's a leadoff single with Dennis DeBanning, the DH, coming up.
Stefan Strecker warming up now in the Hamilton Cardinal bullpen.
Strecker, a quality late inning reliever. Likely the closer for the team until Jose Fernandez gets here. You gonna go for the newsletter, Reed?
I am.
All right.
Baycats fans, it's time to subscribe to the newsletter. Get reminders on Baycats game days and more, as well as the potential for exclusive rewards such as limited time wallpapers. Head to barriebaycats.com/newsletter to sign up.
Adam Kahn coming in. We'll take the break. You're watching Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV. Adam Kahn into the game, and Julius Hern, you got to see him pitch yesterday against the Majors.
Yeah, yesterday was a really quick 1-2-3 inning in the 7th against the London Majors at home. Seemed like it was just an introductory outing for Adam Kahn. Just got back from college. He was pitched at University of British Columbia. Yeah, less than 10 pitches in his outing yesterday, a 3-up, 3-down, 7th inning.
Against the defending champions, as Kahn's first move is to go to first as a pickoff. This is high leverage for Adam Kahn, who has been an excellent starter. Just has the Majors number. Last season he had an excellent start against the Majors. But now it's time to retire the Cardinals. Kicks, throws, and that's down the way. That's going to get by Plumpton. Up to second on the wild pitch goes Danny Berg.
Like I said, yesterday was more of an introductory outing. Seemed like Matla was putting him in the game to get him prepared for a kind of outing like this where it's much more high leverage.
So the count now 1-0. Baycats added one in the top half. Cardinals in the last half hoping to add one of their own and retake the lead.
Absolutely. Wouldn't be a bad bunting scenario here, especially with the speed of Dave Manning at the plate.
Runner takes the lead off second. Kahn looks back, now comes home. And that hits him right in the back. And Dennis Day Banning will take first base. And the commands for Baycats relievers today has not been as sharp as it has been for Souls.
There's a loud crack on that hit by pitch, and it did not hit his bat, so a little bit of worry here for Dennis DeBanning. But
seems to be okay at first base.
Seems to be okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a pinch runner, but looks like he'll stay in the ballgame.
So Lane Renaud hoping to break out of his slump against the Baycats. 0 for 5 so far in the 2 games against the Baycats with 5 strikeouts. And he shows bunt, pulls it back in time, now 1-0 as the pitch was outside. To Banning, taking his lead off first. No lead yet at second for Berg. Here's the 1-0, and again showing bunt, this time a strike. And Renaud looking at the umpire like, hold on, your zone's been small all day. It expanded a little bit there, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He asking the umpire there where that pitch was, and steps right back in the box.
1-1. Will Renaud show bunt for a third time? He does. This time he gets it down first base side. Jansen fields, throws to first. Covering is the second baseman Ando. They get him at first. It's a sacrifice bunt. Up to third goes Berg. Up to second goes to Banning. And at 2 in scoring position with 1 out in the inning for Brandon Latter.
That was a very smart and very well executed bunt right down the first baseline. Having the ball placed where it was, really shallow in the infield. Take any other play other than first base out of the question for the Baycats defense.
So Latter taking his first at-bat of the game, and what a moment for him to do so with runners on second and third in a tie game in the 8th inning. No pressure, Brandon.
Baycats infield in.
Righty pitcher against the lefty hitter, Latter. Adam Kahn kicks, throws, and it's low. Plumpton will field it right in front of his feet as it bounced out of his glove.
That was a high hop off the dirt. But Plumpton with a nice block there, able to keep it in front of him. Baycats infield in. They're going to try and cut down the run at home if there's a ground ball.
Kahn staring in, has his sign. Now comes home, and it's down and away. Count 2-0. And you almost wonder if they'll pitch around the hitter no matter who it is, just to create that force out at first base and potentially set up a double play. Of course they'd like to get the out if possible, though. Pitch from Kahn. And that's outside, ball 3.
This isn't a situation where you would concede a run for an out in a tie ball game in late innings.
No, it's not.
Really large lead with no hold on at second base for Dennis DeBanning.
3 balls, no strikes. That's a strike right in the middle, 3-1. Taking all the way was Latter.
Now 3 balls, 1 strike. Do you think he's going here? Do you think he's got the swing sign?
Yeah, 3-1, absolutely. You gotta take what you're given.
You're right. Foul tip, and it's 3-2.
At 3-0, not so much. At 3-0, you have a little bit more pitches to work with.
Now full count and a huge pitch here for Adam Kahn.
On the season. He has an RBI to his name, looking for his first hit though.
Here we go.
3-2
pitch. Left field. Moving over is Anderson. It gets down for a base hit. 1 run comes in. That's Berg. Another run comes in. That's Dave Bannon. It's a 2 RBI double for Brandon Latter. And the Cardinals take a 7-5 lead here in the 8th inning.
That was just a well-hit ball, went the other way, right down the line. Great situational piece of hitting there from Brandon Latter. Either way, with 1 out, that's just what you need in the late innings. 2-run ball game. Hamilton in front.
Hamilton in the last 3 innings has scored 3, 2, and 2, and taken away a potential win for Evan Souls. Grounded to Burns, and all he can do is block it. It'll be an infield hit for the number 9 hitter, Charlie Towers. Up to third goes Brandon Latter, and it's the top of the order, and Brian Rivera.
Second baseman number 37.
With runners on the corners and only 1 out.
It's a really tough situation here for Adam Kahn and the Baycats. But a double play can really get them out of here in this 8th inning.
Baycats had such a commanding lead through the first 6 innings or so, or at least 5.5. And now the Cardinals have a 2-run lead.
Adam Kahn needs to keep the ball low in the zone here. Needs to initiate a double play.
Throw over to first. Back in time is Charlie Towers.
That was a good move by Kahn. He really made that one close with Charlie Towers at first base.
A couple of relievers getting loose in the Baycats bullpen. Nobody up. Stefan Strecker was up a little bit earlier for the Cardinals, but now with the lead, they may stick with Corbin Peters a little bit longer. That's a strike.
I have to imagine with a left-handed throwing first baseman, that play might have been an out. But with Jansen catching with his left hand, he had to reach across his body to make that tag attempt.
You would think if Strecker was in play to come in imminently, he would still be warming up because he has a reputation for being one of the pitchers who takes a bit longer than average to warm up. Count now 1-1. Adam Kahn to Brian Rivera. Kicks, throws, and the bat breaks. Foul ball right side. Weak contact, but mostly because the bat broke.
That's his 3rd broken bat. That's incredible. I've never seen 1 batter break 3 bats in a ball game.
Maybe it's time to find a new bat.
Max Loico up in the Barrie bullpen.
Yeah, I was about to say Rivera coming out with a little bit of
Is that true? Is that 3 broken bats all from Rivera?
3 broken bats from Rivera.
Wow. Hamilton Cardinals debut breaks 3 bats. And you know one of those bats was his favorite.
Well, I'm just hoping one of those bats wasn't one of his teammates.
Yeah, you're not popular if you break a teammate's bat.
over again at Towers.
Throw over to first, gets away from Jansen at first. Scoring is Latter. Up to second base goes Charlie Towers. And Hamilton will extend the score. It's 8-5.
And that ball on the pickoff attempt off of Owen Jansen's glove, but then it hit the first base coach of the Cardinals, and that might have saved 1 base there for the Baycats. I believe that Towers probably would have made to third had that ball gone all the way to the fence on the right side of the ballpark.
So now Kahn back in against Brian Rivera, who's had an eventful day. He has reached base in his Cardinals debut, reached on an error to the pitcher.
Ball and a 2-strike.
Here's the 1-2.
on Rivera. Pitch
Con
to
comes home. That's low,
Blocked by Plumpton.
and Plumpton has a hard time getting to that one. Count now 2-2.
Cardinals bullpen is pretty much shut down, so if it is our friend Mr. Strecker coming out, he's pretty much ready to go.
Now the 2-2 pitch from Con.
Con back ready. Runner taking a really big lead at second base.
Over there at
And that's low, and the count's full.
3-2 now.
Towers has been on 3 times today, and every time he's been on, he's reached second base, and he's been dancing as he takes his lead, trying to get the pitcher's head a little bit, I believe.
Clayton Keys is on deck. Kicks and comes home. That's fouled right side. This time out of the seating area.
Probably asking for somebody to borrow a lathe from.
Con trying to close this inning as quickly as possible. The 3-2. And that's another foul ball. Great at bat by Brian Rivera.
I mean, they're probably not used to swinging wood backs in Niagara College, and from Niagara Community College, he probably doesn't swing wood. Probably swing aluminum.
Here comes the 7th pitch of the at-bat.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Adam Con looks in for the sign. He's got it. Looks back at second. Now comes home. And that's hit right up the middle, but in the infield. Caught by Burns. And back in time at second base is Charlie Towers. There are 2 out. As a long at bat, the win goes to Adam Con.
Carson Burns making that play close at second base, but great recognition from Charlie Towers, noticing that ball was going to stay on the infield, just hovering above the infield grass, and was able to make the diving attempt to get back to the bag, and he was just safe.
Clayton Keys has not had a problem hitting against the Baycats this season.
Intentional walk for Clayton Keys.
Second of the game. You saw this last time up.
He's been on base 3 times, although none with a hit today. But in that game at Fitzgerald Stadium, he had 3 hits and a walk. So against the Baycats this season, he's already reached base 7 times.
They're going to intentionally walk him again. Second straight inning where Clayton Keys has been intentionally walked. That puts force play at three bases in play to get this 3rd out of the 8th inning.
Now here's Tyler Duncan.
They only put up 9 today, so that's definitely helping.
You like to see that as a Cardinals fan, and now Tyler Duncan at the plate with a couple runners on.
And that is a strike. Just gets the bottom of the zone to Duncan. Duncan 1 for 4 today. Singled in the first, but is 0 for 3 since then.
Every time, plus he's got to sacrifice fly. If not for Starlin Rodriguez in center field, he's probably got
2 outs in the
at
inning.
least an extra base hit.
Hamilton has an 8-5 lead. We're here in the 8th. That's grounded to Burns at shortstop. He'll go to first. Jansen, the throw is high, and it takes him off the base.
Tyler Duncan not making that play easy with his speed on the base pass, but that's a play that Carson Burns just has to make. That's routine 6-3. Baycats still unable to get out of this inning, and Adam Con undoubtedly frustrated on the mound here with the bases loaded.
That's got to be an error on the shortstop. A hit?
Yeah, I took a big hop on him and the guy just beat it in.
Okay, it'll be scored a hit.
So throw just a bit high there from
Credited to the hop that Burns had to manage. Either way, the bases are loaded now for Luis Bernardo, and we're a batter away from the Cardinals having a bat-around inning. It's the 9th hitter of the inning in Bernardo, and that ball misses high, 2-0.
There's a batter-around inning for you where 9 batters get up to the plate, or 10?
No, they have to. It has to be 10 because
to
you
go all
haven't
the way
batted
around?
around unless. Do you agree?
I'm not sure where I stand on that. I'm a bit on the fence either way.
Then go with me. I'm right.
Okay.
2-1.
I
After the
agree
foul
with you.
ball.
I agree with you with the fact that when you say bat around, you got all the way around
Yes.
to the 10th man.
No, all 9 batters hitting is all 9 batters hitting.
Yes.
Starlin Rodriguez fields a ball that's hit to center field. It's going to drop in front of him. Misplay by Rodriguez. Backing up is Lacasse. He'll throw it in, and that will score 2 more as Charlie Towers and Clayton Keys come in to score, and it's 10-5 for Hamilton.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 3, Danny Bird.
So now the scorebook gets messy as they do officially bat around. Danny Berg takes the ball. Second at bat of the inning. He singled, advancing a wild pitch, and ended up scoring against Aiden Russell, who was left in this inning as a lefty-lefty matchup. Could not retire the out. Or could not retire the batter, excuse me, as that's up and in. And now Berg bats for a second time.
No activity in either bullpen. You might be able to see Corbin Peters come out for this 9th inning.
2-0 to Berg. This one actually does find the zone 2-1. So runners on the corners again for Hamilton. They now lead 10-5. They scored 5 in this bottom half of the 8th.
2-1 count to Berg.
And here's the 2-1, and that's going to get by Plumpton. It nearly hit him. And now with a fist bump as he crosses the plate, Tyler Duncan, and another one on the board for Hamilton. And this game has really shifted in the last couple of innings.
Nothing we saw last season. They beat the Cardinals 5 in the 6th matchup.
Just base runner after base runner here for the Hamilton Cardinals.
And that ball nearly hit Berg. So it could have been another base runner. As it stands, a runner on second with 2 out.
To think that this ball game was tied headed into this bottom of the 8th inning.
Pitch number 30 of the inning, thanks to Neil Sriwastawa for giving me that, is outside ball 4. Another base runner as Danny Berg reaches for the second time this inning. And that'll ramp Dennis DeVane, who was hit by a pitch and scored. Runners on first and second with 2 out now.
Force play available all around for the Baycats to hopefully get out of this bottom of the 8th inning.
Kicks, throws. Burns to second, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Cardinals bat around, add 6. And it is Hamilton 11, Barrie 5. You're watching Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
31, Stefan Strecker.
Stefan Strecker on the mound, the longtime late reliever for the Cardinals. Not always the closer, but always a guy who is trusted in high leverage situations. And he's going to be given members of the Baycats bench. Josh Tibbetts is going to pinch hit for Carson Burns, who did not have his best day as a Baycat today.
Stefan Strecker making his third appearance of the season for the Hamilton Cardinals. Comes in with a 1-0 record. Hasn't allowed an earned run yet. 2 strikeouts and 2 innings pitched, only given up 1 hit.
So now Tibbetts, the left-handed hitter, will face off against Strecker, the right-handed hitter. Strecker kicks, throws, that sidearm delivery. And that's a ball. Not quite as sidearm as, say, Tyler Rogers, but more sidearm than most of the deliveries you see in the IBL, other than maybe Max Loico. Pitch from Strecker is hit to left field. Moving in, moving back, moving and missing it is the left fielder, Danny Burke. It's going to be extra bases for Josh Tibbetts. And the Baycats start the inning with a spark.
That was a very, very good piece of hitting there by Josh Tibbetts, going the other way with it and deep. That was over the head of the left fielder, Danny Berg.
And now here's the pinch hitter, Dom Maria.
Pinch hitting for Barrie, Dom Maria.
So now Maria, the second straight pinch hitter. Tibbetts on second. Average speed. And there's a strike to Maria.
You mentioned a delivery by Strecker. I would imagine it's very hard for a hitter to pick up because he whips his arm behind his back almost as he's coming around.
Well, it's going to be hard for both sides because it's almost hidden to the lefty, but it's even more hidden to the righty.
Yes, absolutely. Also, Josh Cote on deck.
Another pinch hitter.
Yeah, he's gonna. Looks like he'll pinch hit for Stellan Rodriguez, who homered in the last inning.
1 ball, 1 strike. Kicks, throws, and they say he didn't go. They say he went. Excuse me. Count 1 and 2. Kind of confused by that call, but the count is 1 and 2. Here comes. That's outside. 2 and 2.
No hold whatsoever on Tibbetts at second base. He's really taking advantage of that, getting a large secondary lead.
Very strong season last year for the Cardinals. One of the lowest ERAs on the team.
Kicks, throws.
This one's hit on the ground.
Hit to third. Renaud over to first. Low throw, but they get it anyway. Maria is retired. And that's the first out. Tibbetts has to stay at second base. Here's Josh Cote.
Let's go, Cardinals!
Pinch hitting for Barrie, number 5, Josh Cote.
Let's go, Cardinals!
Make the plays, make the throws across
Let's
the
go,
diamond as
Cardinals!
Looks like another pinch hitter here for Barrie Baycats, number 5.
Pitch from Stefan Strecker. Josh Cote is crushed. Left field. Off the wall. Tibbetts goes all the way to third. It's a long single, but Tibbetts is coming home. He is out.
7-4-3.
A 7-4-3 put out. Josh Tibbetts retired, trying to score all the way from second. It's a long single for Cote, who probably should have had 2 off that ball. And looks like Dylan Shepard will now pinch hit.
That was a really close play at the plate right there.
Pinch hitting for Barrie, number 36.
Tibbetts might have got his foot in there, but a strong relay throw. Outfield to infield, the catcher.
So now 2 out, runner on first. That's Cote for another catcher off the bench, Dylan Shepard.
Dylan Shepard's first at bat of the season.
Sure is. 1 ball, no strikes to Shepard. Now the pitch from Strecker's outside, 2-0. Cardinals an out away from getting their second win against Barrie. Next home game for Barrie, by the way, is their next game. It's June 1st against Guelph. That game gets started at 7:35 p.m. You can see it on Barrie Baycats TV, or get your tickets at barriebaycats.com/tickets. Big cut on and miss from Shepard, 2-1.
All the years I've seen Stefan Strecker pitching their plays, I would never want to go up there and face him.
2 balls, 1 strike. The lefty hitter is going to have a tough time seeing the release point from Strecker. There's a strike, 2-2. And now the Cardinals a strike away. Kicks and throws. Got him. And that's the ball game. Cardinals come back from behind. They win it 11-5 as Shepard strikes out swinging to end it. And Julius, this was a game that the Baycats led for a while, but the bullpen couldn't hold it, and it just didn't go the Baycats' way.
Yeah, Evan Solis had a great performance, starting pitcher, but a really frustrating loss here for the Baycats. Now 3 in a row losing. Doesn't really feel good. The bus ride home is not going to be a fun one.
All right, keep an eye out for the post-game recap on BarrieBaycats.com from Sam O'Coin. We'll see you on Baycats TV on June 1st as the Baycats face off against the Royals at 7:35 p.m. You can get your tickets to that at BarrieBaycats.com/tickets. Baycats will be hoping for a win in that one. Cardinals win 11-5. Thanks so much for joining us. Join us next time and have a fantastic rest of the day.